So as opposed to picking the scene right back up with the party kind of filing down into the the Dwarven construction and repair area here, right, which is where we left off last game. The scene actually picks up on a flashback from, and I don't know exactly the time. It's something like 1,000 years ago, probably much longer. But when you have races that can live 3, 4, 700 years, I just can't. I don't know if I can't fix that. But a long time ago, we cut back to the site of the church that you guys just left, which I don't think we actually gave like a specific name, but I just kind of wrote down that it was like the Orthodox Frightened Hearth, right?
Orthodox
just something to
Church of Freya,
yeah, just something that I could like keep straight, And so this, some 1,200 years ago, however long it was, it just says a long time ago, right?
Yep.
Long time ago. We've got just this picturesque little, rolling hill, and we see a young girl kind of shepherding sheep, whatever things create wool. I don't go outside much. I think it's sheep.
Yes.
And just sort of kind of moving them in the direction, and they're more or less, behaving and everything. And then the music kind of spikes, and you see her just kind of yell out, and the sheep scatter in every direction. As I imagine they want to do. Some of them, looking for safety. Some of them just trying to get back to the church and everything. And but we don't stay on that scene. So clearly something spooked her, and we see ostensibly her father come out of the church, and he runs up the hill, right? And we're kind of at a distance seeing this, but basically some sort of like impossibly like dark and shadowy creature, this figure, right, just streaks out from the rolling hills, right, and goes to try and attack the sheep and the girl, and the father gets in the way of it, and it kills him, but he seems to stab it too, right? We're getting this in sort of this like stylized, very storytelling. They'd be almost like not like watercolors, but right, like almost like paper. You know what I mean? Like cold, folded and cut paper, kind of layered over the top of each other. Right? We're clearly hearing a story being told here, and we're just getting it animated and illustrated by way of, cinematography. So
nice.
The story goes. I'm sorry.
It's nice. That's all.
The story goes at Gort Willow Tree Wooden Mills, right? A father was called into the garden by the frightened cries of her daughter being chased by a beast. He leapt and attacked, and then, soon after, wrapped his arms around his daughter, and she felt his body go limp. He said to her, "You needn't worry anymore, darling. I have taken the sting of death for you. I will die, but thankfully that beast will not sting again, and thank Freya for that." Right? And he dies. He saves her. That's like... And so she's just crying, and we see, again, this is like extremely stylized. We see nights and days go by, right, as the sun and the moon just pass overhead, and she's just in this field weeping at having lost her father, right? The flock is scattered in every direction. And finally, Freya herself, their self, comes, right, in the form of a giant falcon woman descended from the sun, the sky, and says, "I can give him a second chance at life," right? And again, this massive, booming, all-encompassing, maybe robotic voice, who knows? Says, "I can give him a second chance at life, but you must come seek me in the west, and I will show you my gift." And she sets off into the ancient elven ancestral lands. We cut back to our game already in action. Y'all are descending into the earth, escorted by many dwarven guards, or dwarven railway workers. What are you doing?
I think we were following the one dwarf to see if he could take us to the elf or elves that were hurt.
Yeah, because the other guys have also blocked the doorway. Mini symbol.
Yes,
Go
that is
way.
true. Okay. So what's the thought process there? Like, you just go along for the ride looking for information? I know Rx was kind of rip-roaring and ready to go.
Arx was also cranky. He didn't get the call.
Hang on 1 second.
True.
I need to refresh this to update my settings. I changed my name.
I think Winnie would be fine with them blocking the door, because given the fact that I said that I was going to be unarmed, and then two people come running after me with
Yeah, you tried.
Yeah, so I mean, I can understand their
hesitation. Yeah. I guess the next question then is, oh shit, sorry. Is there any conversation between your party as you're shuffling under your own power, but you're definitely being funneled in this direction too, right? Like you're going where they want you to, though you currently are under your own power.
You're squid. You're squid. I don't know. What does Alicia think? And Yo Squid. I keep forgetting him on Push to Talk. Yo Squid.
What's Maverick's sense of these people? Like, is he kind of calm and relaxed, or is he looking at me like, can I kill him?
I think if we want to kill them, we have to move quite fast.
No, I was asking Dave if there was a sense from Maverick. I don't know how much I can.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Rx.
No,
I apologize.
Maverick. I'm not unsure how much I can inject what he's thinking, or if I need to ask you what he's thinking.
Yeah, I apologize. I would say you're well within your rights to tell us because he's your character, but I think in situations that you want to know what, like if he's trying to clue in on things for you, right? Like stuff you don't know, that's fine, right? Like the sense that you gave me was that he trusts, Winnie, right? And Winnie had kind of asked him to be cool, so I imagine he's being cool, but I can't imagine he likes it.
Yeah. No, I'm fine to follow. It's they've given us a peaceful path and don't want to get Winnie in really, really big trouble.
Yeah. Okay. So cool. This goes pretty quickly, right? Like there's not a ton of stuff here. I mean, there's a fair bit of stuff. They're doing repair on a lot of different things down here, but like no one lives here permanently. This is just a workshop. And I think that's probably the first sense that you get is like for all the other things that may or may not be true, they're not lying. You're not seeing any indication of this being a smuggling operation, right? They don't have piles of heroin and fucking goods that they're working out of this place, right? There's not 20 people trying to sneak into the Elven Islands to do under the table work or
that's unfortunate.
Assassinations or something. What's that?
That's unfortunate. Like that would have been cool.
What you are seeing is a tremendous amount of dwarves. So there's 2 up here, there's 2 here, there's 2 more here, and you can still hear more kicking and bumping around. Uh-oh. Whose cam froze?
I think it's yours. I think maybe your Discord just...
He's moving okay on my end now.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'll refresh. Okay.
Yeah. I'm good, I think. I keep forgetting I'm on Push to Talk. This is... we're only been going like 10-15 minutes. It's good, it's good.
Talking a lot to his chat.
Oh, I'm doing that as well.
Yeah, he's probably making fucking jokes about Jack Black, huh? You got fucking jokes?
That's Bruce. That's Bruce chat. I've got nothing to do with that. That's her friends.
I saw you
can't
laughing.
change them. I'm sorry.
I saw you laughing. Man, I even tried to trim it up a little bit. I've been lazy, I was like, I gotta look good for the stream. Fucking punking on me 3 minutes into the game.
Jack Black.
Thanks, guys. I love you.
I like it.
So do we see in this new room? Do we see any injured elves?
You see, this specifically. This, it's probably the biggest building, quote unquote, right? That exists down here, and it is well guarded by a man with a spotlight helmet on, right? So it's got the shutter, so he can project light where he needs to, and he's got 2 mauls, 2 very big hammers, both of them on the ground right now, and just sort of leaning on them both.
are the injured soldiers so we can go help?
Yeah, and they're like, well, they're in there, but, you know, like I said, I think one of them died in the fight. And I'm not going to jail because some elves tried to frame me for something. And that's, you know, one of the people that's kind of escorting you down here. We'll call it this guy because I don't care.
Well, can we go take a look?
Yeah, one of you can. I'm not sending you all in there.
When do you go?
Yeah,
All
all
thanks
right.
for the bitties. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and he nods and he says, he looks at me and says, "Your mom. Let him in." The guy just furrows his brow at you for a moment. And like, I meant it. And he grumbles and sighs and sort of, you know, leaves the warhammers behind, the mauls behind, whatever they're, and goes and opens the door, and you hear there's some sort of pattern or code to the door opening, right? He doesn't just turn a door handle. He doesn't just, you know, rap at it 3 times. Like, there's some sort of passcode or something. And you go in?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You know, if anybody outside wants to be doing anything, please let me know, because otherwise we'll just snap, you know, the camera will follow Winnie in. And then Winnie, I just want to remind you that you are currently still hopped up on Freya's fighting juice.
Oh, yeah.
So you go in. There are 3 elves, all kind of pressed together in the back corner of the room. Looks like, just like everything down here, it's some warehouse, storehouse. You know, racking on the sides with, you know, big spools of wire and whatever the fuck else that they need to build a rail yard.
Are you okay?
Yeah, they turn to, only 2 of them turn to look at you. And when they do, you see the first thing I think that you notice, just because you guys have been hyper aware of it, is there's a drow on the right side, a male drow that has antenna coming out of like basically the temple, more or less. Like, it's not his forehead and it's not his ear.
What the fuck?
And they're like very, you know, 90s cell phone, you know what I mean, with like very thin, spindly sort of stuff. And the other one, yeah, she'll actually reply. You can see that her eye is like mostly swollen shut. And what was your specific question? Are you okay?
Yeah.
And she's like, absolutely not. What are you here for? More punishment?
No, I'm here to help. Primus is the one that sent me, and I'm trying to understand what's going on here and see if I can help you, and in addition to maybe helping the dwarves so there's no more bloodshed.
She nods and says, she nods and points. She says, Iljark is already dead. So, the blood has been spilled.
Aye, but do you want your blood spilled as well?
Ooh.
Yeah, and the drow sort of looks up at you, and the camera would kind of tilt ever so slightly to focus on him. There seems to be, it's not fire because there's no flames, but there is both heat, like heat waves radiating off of, and a very dim red light flaring up from his palms. And almost in spite of himself, he says, sorry, I'm trying to make sure I say these names right. Marili, just say the word. What thing happened? Thank you for hosting, Snow Chicken Lord. Sorry.
I'm not trying to cause any more bloodshed. I'm trying to get you back up. And I want to know if you're gonna cooperate so I can look at you and maybe heal your wounds and get you out of here without any more blood being spilled.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a charisma saving throw. Or not charisma saving throw, it's just a charisma check. So you're looking to roll under your charisma, but you're going to add 2 to the roll. You showed up, you're dwarf. Yeah, D20 plus 2. And we're comparing against Winnie's charisma. Just an 11. So 9 or higher. All right. Well, there are some worlds where that would be great, but unfortunately this is not one of them.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that they fixate on the fact that you're a dwarf, and they're like, I didn't see that one before, right? And the other one's like, no, neither did I. And they quickly, they get into an argument about something. They snapped into Elvish pretty quickly after that. You get the feeling that they think that this is some sort of dwarvish trick. And they're just not even, like, they're not even paying attention to you at this point.
What can I tell you to prove to you that I'm not with them? I already told you that I was sent here from above by Primus. Secundus was up there as well. You've got a whole slew of your company up there, and they're all trying to get you back. And I'm trying to help.
Yeah, so the drow looks at you and says, well, interesting, you have a lot of names, but why would they have sent you, of all people?
Because I was sent by the Church of Freya.
He nods. This is very well. Then you are attached.
That was all it took, man.
I mean, he was asking you. I'm just wondering if you confirm it or if you just.
Oh
yeah.
You
just do the thing. You're like, let me heal you.
Yeah, I mean, I was sent by the Church of Freya. I'm here to help. Can I look at your wounds?
Yeah, so the drow looks to Myrilli. She nods and says, yes, do what you must. I will be watching you. Quizpago will end everyone here, should you be up to no good.
Which one of them looks more hurt?
Definitely Myrilli, but she's telling you to go to what the hell was it? Quizpago.
Okay, I will walk up to Quizpago.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll walk up to Q.
Yeah, you want to do a medicine check?
Yes, and I believe I am proficient in healing, but I don't know what that means. Would that help me at all here?
Yeah, I mean, technically it makes you able to make the check.
Dave, just while you're giving us names, I caught something last week. That guy called Work, that's just a bird reference because it's crow backwards. I know about you and birds.
Which one was that? That was the one of the guys that worked at the bar, I think?
No, the
That was
crippled
the poet.
wasn't the crippled poet called Work?
Yeah, you're right. You know, I didn't even do it like that, but you are correct.
I know about you and birds.
Yeah, you know. So you should be able to just roll through right off your character sheet. You should just have
wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll let you roll off your character sheet. That was a bad roll.
So is it the healing one that I would use?
I think so. Yeah, it should be a non-weapon proficiency. Yeah. Nice. See, look at that. So you succeed. Do you want any like special narration to this, or is it just pretty carte blanche? You bind their wounds, whatever else?
Yeah, I'm just trying to stop any more damage, I guess, from being done. If I can heal in any sense, then that'd be great. But I don't have the spell slot for it.
Yeah. So she nods. Myrelli does, and she says, "Very well. You may, if you have anything to help with this swelling, I can't see out of this eye, and I'm growing concerned that it may be permanent."
I've got soap, but I don't want to put that in your eye.
Okay, we cut away from that scene. So what's going on? Kind of standing and waiting. It's been a few minutes. You haven't heard. You heard a little bit of raised voices for a moment, but not like a fight by any means.
I mean, I'm just listening very carefully.
Okay, you want to roll? Because you actually speak Elven, right?
Yes.
So you might have caught there. Not that there's a lot to it, but
do I roll like my listen check?
Yeah, I think so. Right, you get that as a thief skill.
Get detect noise.
Yeah, I don't know that it's exactly the way the skill was intended, but
it's not. But it doesn't really matter.
No.
Oh, I rolled the wrong one. Hang on.
Damn, that's close though.
Look what I rolled the first time.
Oh shit! It went twice.
Yeah.
So you got it.
Look what I rolled the first time.
Yeah.
A 1 on 1d100.
Oh, you could have used that the other day, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hear them. You've got it. They talk real briefly. Again, this is when they snapped into Elvish when they were disagreeing about who Winnie was, right?
Yep.
So they're disagreeing with each other about, like, did you see her? No, I didn't either. There's probably hundreds of them down there, and they make some disparaging remark about dwarves multiplying in the mud, right? Like, probably a whole fucking family. I spit and here's another dwarf, right? Like, some shitty racial mark like that. And then they snap over, right, to talking about if they don't get out of here, their lives are over. But not like the dwarves are going to kill them. Like Primus is going to, like, it doesn't matter. Like they will be forfeit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're more scared of him.
And whatever he's going to do to finish this exactly. And then like I said, the voices kind of quiet down because Winnie was able to sort of dig herself out of that hole.
So, quick question. We leveled up at the end of last session.
Yeah.
So I now have 2 level 1 spell slots, and I only had the healing one prepared from earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Am I able to use that second one?
I think we have to wait till you rest, unfortunately.
David, I'll get a level up as well then, eh?
Yeah, everyone should have leveled, just contingent on the rest. Oh. I think I just said that to make sure that we...
Should we roll hit points and everything?
I thought we did. Thought that was the end of last game.
Did we?
I don't know that we did.
No, we said that we leveled up and then we'd figure that out during the 2 weeks, and we didn't.
Oh. Well, I had to run at the end of last game, and you guys were in the chat for a while, so I guess I thought that's what happened.
Yeah, we can roll it later, because it'll be contingent upon the rest anyway, so once we...
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's quick enough
unless things go completely wild, you'll have that chance here in a moment.
Yeah, because if I had that healed, then I would have healed this other elf. But I think I'll just probably take water and try and, like, wash her eye to get any, like, shrapnel or anything that might be in there out, and then kind of soothe it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, if nobody has, like, anything in particular, I think the next scene is either, Winnie, you questioning them, or Winnie coming out of the room and kind of telling the dwarves what has transpired.
Yeah, I think I'd probably walk out. Alright, so it does look, unfortunately, like one has passed, and there's not much I can do about that. However, I've been able to assist with their wounds in a minor way. If I can get some sleep, I can maybe get them back up. And looking okay before they go back up top, so there's no heat coming down here, but I mean, if we have any food or anything that you might be able to spare them, a little bit of hospitality may go a long way here.
Yeah, so the lead dwarf, the seeming lead dwarf, the one that's definitely talked to you the most, has kind of shooed away a lot of the other ones at this point, and he's just kind of staring at you. And he goes, and forgive me, I tried to rewatch to make sure I didn't already name them. I had these names last week. I just don't think that we got to that point where they were being particularly civil, right?
Yeah, I don't think he named any of them to us.
So you just met Mom, who they call your mom to be funny. He's their safety officer. The person you're talking to now is Rotbreck, who is an engineer, and they would also call him Immunes, which is just his position in the hierarchy of the Dwarven, not engineering particularly, but like just their whole organization. And so he's kind of like the one that's de facto in charge right now. They don't seem to have a foreman in the traditional sense. And he kind of looks at you, he says, he just flops down on like a barrel or something nearby. He's got, his head in his hands, like I have a headache kind of style, not like I'm sad, right? And he's just like, I really want to believe you. I think it would have made a lot of sense if we had known that you were honest and to your word, but the elves sending in anything other than and he looks over at you, Rx.
What?
Anything other than a death dealer. I didn't believe it. Why would I? They tried to kill us the first time, why wouldn't they try and kill us again? We're dwarves, we'd answer them in kind. Shit, one of them's in there dead right now. You made a great offer, said clear out of here and you'll tell them we died, but the folks in there, they won't have it. The ones in that room, and he points at the building that you were just healing, says, they're out for blood now. And I would be too if I were them. How can I blame them? Sure, I can run, keep my job, tell everybody back home, we just lost a workshop, that's fine, there's others, but it'll speak to a bigger problem.
I mean, perhaps I can talk to them and see if they were here for more than we've been told. I mean, if they're trying to retrieve something, or if there's anything that would give us an upper hand in negotiating, then I think that might suit us well. But at this point, if you murder them, you're only going to bring more bloodshed to your kind down here. They're not going to stop. If you release them, there's at least a chance that these two will go along with our story, and especially if we show them that kindness.
Yeah, I mean, he nods to you. What you're saying makes sense, but like at his core, he doesn't currently believe it. It's like, yeah, I have a tough decision to make. Let him go and give up whatever leverage I still have and lose everything, or kill him, bite the bullet, deal with you however I have to, and probably lose everything. And he doesn't say that in such a way that, I mean, obviously you can talk to him, but if this were a video game, you would go to prompt him for another, line of dialogue, and it would just say like, whatever the fuck his name was, Rotbreck is thinking pensively.
Now, did I hear that bit of conversation when he said to Winifred, "I'll deal with you, however," because I might be a bit offended by that.
Oh yeah, he was plain speaking. You were all right there.
I mean, I'm trying to stay quiet because Winnie's so much better at the diplomacy than I am, but I mean, I'm not gonna let him talk to her like that for long.
Yeah, that's fine. You can say whatever you want. I don't think I would say me as him, right? He's saying it in the sense it's like I'm kind of fucked either way, and he would be assuming that you're not just going to let him kill those prisoners and walk away. You may, right? You may be willing to. You may not be willing to now that he has offended you.
I'm not going to let him kill prisoners in front of me, no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the scene is yours. You would... the cutscene would be over, and you would be able to move around in these caves and talk to the dwarves as you want. You can also go back into the room with them, with the elves, right? The only condition is you would have to like talk to the dwarf guard, be like, "Hey, can you let me in?" You know what I mean? You don't think that you can throw the door open without starting a scene.
Did you say Rotbrack was the engineer, or was that Ermon?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope, that's correct. Ermon is the safety officer.
Okay, so I'll probably go back up to Rotbrack. Listen, is there anything around here that you can craft together to make an explosive? That way, if we take these prisoners, we can blow off the tunnel leading to the surface so they can't get back and come searching for you. We can claim that you were lost in the explosion. And that way, there's no harm coming to you.
Yeah, he gives you a bit of a hand. He says, "Yeah, I'm thinking."
I'm standing there taking notes.
Yeah, he kind of gives you, a bit of a harsher glare. He says, "I don't know that I'm going to give him up yet. And if that bothers you, well, then we need to have further words." I actually have a question for Alicia.
Go ahead.
Does your tribe or clan have any specific rules or regulations with prisoners? Like, is this honorable, dishonorable, or is this business as usual?
My brother ran the clan differently than I would. He would be fine with this. I think that it's not honorable.
Sure.
I would ask if I could. Am I close enough to ask him?
Yeah, he's in a state currently that he's not like talking a ton. But like I'm not just gonna be like he doesn't say anything. He doesn't right like.
Oh, shit.
The situation as it's playing out is you guys need another piece of the puzzle right now. You have to either force his hand or give him another option. But yeah, he'll answer simplistic questions.
I'm curious what the delay is. You either hand them over or you don't. What is it that you're thinking? What is it that you need from us, if anything, that we can help you to resolve this?
Yeah, and he he sits up and kind of puts his hands out and goes, on the one hand, I lose this workshop. That's going to be a strike against me, right? Whether you sink it or break it or take it away from me, whatever it is. There's no world where I'm not losing this workshop unless I take these prisoners and I use them as leverage up against the surface. I don't care about a secret tunnel that gets into the city. That wasn't my point here, my purpose. But I've killed one of them and I've pissed off a bunch of them. And I don't have any means to convince them that I didn't mean to kill them. And I got to think about that.
What is it you want from them above?
I didn't want anything. Didn't know there was a way up there. Never bothered with it. We tinker down here. We fix the, he would brandish behind him, but you guys are another level down, right? So you kind of point up, fix the engines, right? Take him back down onto the Long O.
I feel bad for this guy. Like, I don't feel like he's done anything wrong. He felt threatened, and he killed a guy, like you would, and now he's gonna get in trouble because this guy's an elf and he's a dwarf.
Pretty shitty.
So, I don't know that you would get in trouble, though. If we blow off the tunnel to the surface, you get to keep your workshop. They're not gonna come down because they're gonna be thinking you're dead. And whatever you need to tell your superiors, you'll still have an elf's body down here that you can use to prove to them that you are attacked. And that's why, you know, there's a closed off tunnel up ahead, but it's not going to impact your work.
Yeah, not that I'm looking to make more fights. Oliver, Alicia, are you okay with that theoretical? The dwarves keeping the body of the fallen elf?
I'm not bothered. You've seen my alignment. I'm not bothered.
Okay.
I'm not bothered by it. It was an accident. Seems that way.
Okay.
And
Oh, sorry.
we're trying to get everybody out alive who
Yeah.
can be.
Okay. Yeah, so he nods to that and he says, I see your point. I'm still worried they'll come down for revenge, for excavation. Our space here has been disturbed. But you've been honest with me so far, and you're true to your word, and maybe you helped things here. Maybe you helped me. I'm gonna go talk to old Ice Belly. If you want, I'll get you some food. Go float the idea to them in there. If they're willing to say there was a fight and an explosion, and they don't remember much, I'm willing to. Of course, I'm willing to blow the tunnel. I don't care about the tunnel, but I need a minute to think about this.
Would you mind if my companions went in and discussed it with them with me?
I'm willing to accept that.
I want to talk to you about spells, because if I'm leveling up I start to get spells, but charm's useless on elves anyway, so it's not worth asking now anyway.
Goddamn 2nd edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he'll leave the room, right? You hear him stop, and he barks something in Dwarven to somebody about, getting everybody food, and they scoff, and he's like, in Dwarven, he's like, I mean it, don't make me burn you from the inside out, kind of thing. Then he will descend further into the way here, just for reference. But if you want to jump to the next scene, you have some sort of, meager rations, but something to bring into the elves. We can do that.
Yeah. Before going in there, I think Winnie would probably just check with Rx and Alicia and make sure that they're okay with everything.
I'm okay. Do we have any food to give them?
Whatever the dwarves gave us, I can give up mine.
Yeah, same. That's all we've got, I think.
Yeah, they would have brought enough to feed the elves and you guys, right? Like that was what he was like scoffing. The guy was like, I'm not gonna feed those elves. He's like, I'm gonna feed you to those elves if you don't get food, right? Like.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so you guys can all cut in there, and then Alicia and Rx, you see the same thing. A drow that has been gifted with. You're not sure if the hands are part of it or not. They don't seem to be mechanical in the sense that the antenna are, right? But he certainly has his little ear attachments.
Is there a chance he's communicating with the surface now? That they're actually hearing this? Or I guess not, because they sent us down to find him.
It's a really fun thought, though. I like that a lot. Go ahead and let's go ahead and just mark that down as a. You have a gimme at some point later there, Goofin. You mark that down somewhere in your character sheet, and the next time I give you some guff, you just remind me.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That was very good. I liked that a lot. I wish I had thought of it. Sorry?
DM owes me.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna mark down in my notes. DM owes me.
Yeah. So in my games, I traditionally call them Dave points, or just like steal inspiration. But we're not playing 5th edition, so.
We brought you some food.
Yeah, they both they're pretty unceremonious about like scraping over to you and taking it. Like, because you guys are holding food too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take a little piece off of their food and eat it in front of them, so then
right. Yeah. As long as if you come in with like 6 bowls and you like take a spoonful of it, like they're not just they've been prisoners before, I imagine, or at least they've had training. So yeah, they don't just like tuck in like crazy, but they want the food.
I'll crack open my own water skin, take a drink first, and then give it to one of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Same with mine.
Okay.
I've got some cheese that they can have a nibble on.
Yeah. I mean, morale improves significantly. Turns out they don't hate dwarves; they're just hangry.
Thank God.
It is. Gotta keep looking at these names. Quispago, that speaks first, that the camera cares about, right? He's like, well, I'm grateful that you're here. Then I could have taken down this room and probably a few of them, but I don't think it would have been much further.
Like I said, we don't want to see any more bloodshed, so what if you don't mind my asking, is it that you came down here for? Was it just to investigate, and you got attacked?
Yeah, he turns to Myrili, who responds, The house is now condemned. Primus will be destroying it shortly, though hopefully... And she looks at him, and Quispago nods, says, Primus will be destroying the house either way, making it impossible to leave from this direction. The house, our quick inspection showed that it was not owned by anyone in particular, just a shell corporation, right? Like, I don't think they call it a shell corporation, but the sense of a fake company owning it just to hide and move goods through and through.
A front.
A front, yeah, that's a better way they would actually use. That's a word they would use. She says, if we don't get out of here soon, we're condemned here, and I can't blame Primus, but she just sort of gestures like, I want to forsake my own life. Not a zealot.
I mean, I'll blame Primus for you. That's really poor leadership of him to just send you down here not knowing what's going on and putting your lives at risk,
Mm-hmm. We've been routing out a lot of issues in the Selayan Isles.
I understand that. I definitely do. So, in order to make this work, though, we've made an agreement with the dwarves that they'll release you two, and we'll blow the tunnel leading to the house. And if Primus is also already planning to demolish the house, then there should be no way back in or out of that tunnel for whatever it is you assume is happening and whatever these dwarves claim is not happening. So, I mean, if you're willing to go along with that, the only downside is you'll have to leave your friend, Iljark here.
Yeah, they think about it for a moment. Does anyone jump in, or are you guys waiting for a response?
I'm trying not to say anything. I'm not saying anything.
I'm just waiting to see what they say.
Yeah.
Giving them time, not wanting to pressure them.
I'm smiling.
Yeah. Says, we'll need some time alone with the body. We need to, prepare him. If he cannot come with us, then we will see him, meet his ancestors correctly and take his weapon for his family, that he can be remembered.
Understood, and that should be no issue.
Of course.
Yeah, they nod, say, and don't like it, but again, I think the longer we're down here, the more likely we are never to return.
I agree. It's unfortunate that there was even a casualty to this, but I mean, if we can get you two back up there safely and keep those down here safe, then
seems the only way to avoid any more.
And what will you do if Primus sends us to come after these dwarves again? Sure, he blows the house, you blow the tunnel. We'll find them. They're not leaving. If they're smugglers, they're coming back.
I mean, I guess I would just ask.
What do you see any evidence of them being smugglers? We just see a workshop. When you came down, did you see anything that said they were smugglers?
Well, I saw a secret pathway that no one knew about. I saw, and we will learn more, evidence of who owned this building and why. Do I see... Right, and there would be some elven word for... Like, I don't think narcotics, right? I think narcotics are probably fine, but some, you know, like some elven word for contraband, right? A specific contraband. I think probably a specific word for dwarven contraband. This is, I'm sure it's not far, right? Once again, kind of slipping back into that judgment.
Well, I think that the way that I see this playing out is if we go back up there with the story that, you know, you fought a valiant fight down here, you took down a lot of the dwarves, unfortunately, Ildrick died in battle, he will be honored, you know, and you two will probably be honored as well. Unfortunately, you know, an explosion went off when we were fighting, we assume it took out the mass of them, and we got away relatively unscathed. But you know, you'll still be serving your position. So if you were to hear that they were to be coming back and trying to excavate the tunnel, I would hope that you would come to us as a way of thanks, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what the heck's her name? I keep losing it. I gotta remember at this point. Myrili sort of narrows her eyes and says, well, you're attached to our company now. You will know when we move back on them. I won't have to tell you.
Well, by golly, I guess.
I look at Winnie like, what have you done attaching to this company?
Alright, I didn't think that.
Right. Well, I mean, and to be clear, you've quite expertly navigated you're attached, like, the church sent me. From rewatching, you've done that to me a couple times. I'm onto you. So it's fine. Like they have not like sussed that out yet. Though I am telling you that they are making an assumption that may become slightly problematic for you later. We'll see.
Right. I mean, I understand that I should know these things, but my companions may not. They are not associated with the church or the company. And so, you know, just letting them know, because I don't know that I'll necessarily be in a position to tell them. I might be called off somewhere else, you know. So if you could tell them, that'd be great.
Sure.
I just had an image of Winnie standing on a wharf with one foot on the wharf, one foot on the boat, and at some point or other, Dave's going to push the boat away.
Don't do it. I can't swim. I'm not proficient.
The advice I give to a lot of people, I actually got it from Ken Hite, who is a RPG writer, game designer. Was like, especially Call of Cthulhu. The players should not be afraid of your monsters. They should be afraid of your treasure. And I thought that was just like fantastic advice. Thought it was really cool. So try and think about that a lot.
I couldn't even take the treasure if I wanted it.
I love a cursed item.
Yeah. So do you have other things you want to do? Do you have other questions for them, or do we want to cut to the next scene?
I think I would want to go back and ask the dwarves if they know who Snorri is.
Okay. Yeah, so we cut out there, and like I said, Ermom's still hanging out front. Normally he would be, safety stuff, making sure, when they're mining, they're putting in, roof anchors and stuff, like keeping shit safe. Checking for hitting like water pockets or gas pockets and everything. In this case, the biggest, unknown is these two elves that could break out and start killing people. So he's been keeping an eye on that. And
yo, McBagger knows.
He points, back down to the same pathway, right? That like Roprack.
I just noticed that.
I call him Roprack. Roprack, yep. Roprack is taken off too.
So maybe go down that way?
Dusty, McBagger, welcome
I
boys.
just want us to thank them for being open and for allowing us to hopefully have a peaceful solution to this in a way that these guys will survive and not be attacked.
Yeah, you're just saying.
There's no good way out of it, but we're doing our best to make a not bad way out of it.
Yeah.
You're saying that specifically to your mom?
To your mom and to the those downstairs, not to the elves.
Yeah.
Just to say thank you.
Yeah, he nods. He's like, honestly, they give me shit all the time for trying to look out for them. Our best bet was not making plans worse. It's one of the reasons I separated everyone. But he goes, there's an old saying about that. And he sort of looks at it's probably not appropriate, so I apologize, but only when there's a mosquito on your cock do you realize you can't solve everything with violence.
Okay.
That's lovely. That's some real wisdom.
That's some real wisdom. All right, so everybody heads deeper into the Dwarven workshop here.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, when you get down to the bottom here, there's a massive crane that seems to be the thing that lifts, the the actual engines and the carts and everything that like needs repairs either out of the long O, right? Or back into it once they're fixed, right? So there's, like an individual working the crane itself. Not that anything's coming up or going, right? Probably asleep on the job, but it is there. And then there's a few people kind of like floating around and everything. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say floating around. There's a few people moving around there working and stuff.
So is this down in this area here?
Yes. But you do not see Robrek.
Are you coming, Auric?
Do we,
I'm coming.
do y'all know where Robrek went? I think he said he was gonna go talk to Ice Belly?
Yeah, and you can't help but see that they all crack a smile, right? They're just like, yeah, he went down there. And he points at this one in particular. This
Okay.
is yeah, he'll be back soon. He doesn't like none of us like Ice Belly that much.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull my mirror out while we wait and make sure my beard is tidy since they kind of laughed when I talked.
Yeah.
Don't do that when I take a drink.
But hang over your shoulder, which is easy enough because you're a dwarf, and like try and check out myself in the mirror at the same time while you're there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Says
Just make sure
do y'all
Do you need this, Arx?
Yeah, give me a quick shot. I'm very vain.
do y'all work with long O investigations? Are you with acquisitions, inspection?
No, we're peacekeepers. Tell him, Winnie.
We're just doing the work of Freya.
That's the one.
Yeah, the work of Freya.
Yeah, he points. He's because I'm Garner, heavy labor. And he points.
Nice to meet you.
It's Oiden. He's heavy labor. That one over there, Thorn, heavy labor.
You're my kind of guys. Nice to meet you, boys. The heavy labor gang. I like the heavy labor gang.
Yeah, heavy labor gang. We got some mushroom beer if you want any.
Oh, mushroom beer. Yeah, I'll take a drink of that. I want to play them a song or recite them a nice, not a poem, but like what's the one I'm looking for?
A little bit of a drinking song or something.
A limerick, not a limerick, but a funny story like that rhymes, like a funny poem. I'm going to recite them one of them and have a drink with them.
Oh, that's awesome! I love that.
Isn't that like the ones that are always about like women? Like they use like a woman's name and it's like.
That's the one that I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm familiar with it.
I'll look one up.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you got one, let's get immersive up in here.
So yeah, I picked on my musical instrument on my character sheet because you get musical instrument as a bard. I picked voice, so I'm a singer and a poet rather than I play an instrument.
Sure. Nice. Okay. So you keep them entertained. There's a few laughs. There's a few ha-has. I would say if everybody wants a question out of them, either related to the scenario or related to dwarves in general, right? Like they're happy to talk. These guys aren't as interested in the drama that everyone else is, right? They probably gotten whispers that it's happening, but they also, along with that, was also get back to work. So they're happy to just have in their eyes an excuse to fuck off.
Yeah.
So here's one. A damsel seductive and handsome got wedged in a sleeping room transom. When she offered much gold for release, she was told that the view was worth more than the ransom. So it sounds like that.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what I'll recite for the guys. So, do I need to make a roll for it?
Oh no, you just get this.
Cool.
Yeah, no, they're all about you.
Nice.
If you're hanging out, having a drink with them, having a laugh, you succeed. These are your people.
Nice. I like dwarfs. Dwarfs are cool.
Does anybody want a question, or do you want me to just cut to Rotbreck coming back?
Question from me to Winnie. Would they know anything about the dwarf you're looking for?
Oh, that's right, because you wanted to ask them about...
Yeah.
You wanted to ask him about Snorri. So none of them here know Snorri, but they will give you two things. They say, we had a lot of people come through recently, and he points. He's like, and some of them I've seen since then, but there were a few guys that came through that I haven't seen, and I thought that was kind of weird because we're. And he looks, at the heavy labor crew, and he grins. He's like, "We're a bunch of busybodies, Where'd they go?"
Did they go topside?
What's that?
Did they go topside? And is that where?
When he says guys, does he mean dwarfs?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and he's like, honestly, nobody's got time to be inspecting all these different caves. This is all news, If elves could just show up all willy-nilly, they've never done it before. So I don't know if this is a new thing or what, but we got all kinds of hidey holes for drinking, for sleeping, for.
I like it.
Yeah, he looks a little embarrassed, and didn't know you could go topside from here.
Do y'all happen to know a dwarf named Snorri?
Yeah, and I'm kind of lumping that in together because I think sorry, not Goofin. Alicia asked, and he goes, "Well, that's the thing that's interesting. Do you recognize that name?" He's asking you.
From the Snow White Dwarfs.
Because it's a good name. That's a strong name. It's a powerful name. That's a name that means something.
Irons.
You don't just name your kid Snorri and then he grows up and he he laughs. He's like, "I don't grow up to do heavy labor." You know what I'm saying? It's a blessed name.
For some reason, I'm always thinking about what the name spells backwards, and Snorri backwards is irons. Just saying.
Yeah, he shrugs. Yeah, he shrugs. I don't know a Snorri, at least not. I think the one you're thinking about. There's a Snorri who's a hero back home, but
It's a common dwarven name, Snorri, the way.
but it's auspicious. That's the word. I couldn't think of it.
What was your Snorri
Yo, Daniel,
famous
big
for?
Daniel in the house. Ooh.
Oh hell, what did he kill? Hold on, I gotta Google it. I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so I was ripping off. Post it here. Oh fuck, I forgot.
Bruce chat hates
Every
you, man.
fucking time.
As long as
That's fine.
You got that high security chat, bro.
No, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. I gotta fucking put a note down or something.
Put a smiley face at the end of it, and now you can post it.
Put a smiley face in.
Yeah, because if you don't, it'll time you out for posting the same thing twice.
Yeah, no, you're right. I almost did it too. I was just stealing it from. I think it was just a rabbit hole when I went down reading more about Freya. I think specifically for our purposes, Snorri will be a troll slayer. Like they'll tell you about the Snorri back home being a powerful warrior and hero, right? Having saved such and such from trolls. But just in case anybody, I live for Wikipedia. I just could go all day,
So can I when I get started, so I try not to.
Yeah, true. But yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, so that's the only Snorri he's like there's a famous Snorri, but I can't imagine a fucking hero is running down and doing the whole nine.
Well, shit, if it was, then I missed my shot.
And this is completely fine if it is. But does anyone have any other questions? You kind of all leaned in on the who's this Snorri guy, which is fine,
So while we're waiting, can we explore some of these other little tunnel areas, or are they off limits?
Yeah, you had carte blanche to go wherever you wanted, but at this point, Rotbrack is going to be back real soon. Because you already spent some time, singing and drinking with the dwarves.
Making friends.
Yeah.
That's my job. That's what I'm doing. It may seem like I'm just pissing around and get drunk, but this is the networking is important. People don't realize that. When you're a bard, the socializing. Yeah. This is the real diplomacy. This is the behind the scenes diplomacy. The networking. The drinks. This is tax deductible. This is work for me.
Yeah, no, it's true. If you don't, if you're only showing up when you need something, they get sick of seeing you real quick.
Yeah. This is a bard's work is never done. That's why I'm drinking. It's part of the job.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty quick to form. Rotbrack comes out. He nods. He shakes his head and says, "I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea. Go talk to that fucker." All right, we're in agreement. Let's send you up. Let's send the elves up. I think we blindfold them. That way they don't have a good count of how many of us are down here and exactly what we're working on. And I'm going to blow the tunnel. Yeah?
Oh, all right. Well, much appreciated, Rotbrack. And I don't know. You came back and it sounded like maybe that wasn't going to be good news for my Spelly, so I don't know. What.
I talked to him because he's been around for a really long time, but talking to him is just the same fucking thing again and again. But who else I'm going to talk to? Money Branch? Fucking worthless.
Well, he sounds like you actually might be good, but...
Old Ice Belly, it's a joke. Oh, the poor fucker. He forgot to clock out before he went on vacation, and he went and died. Now his ghost, still at work. He haunts the place. We put him to good use. Keeps the beers cold.
No way.
dead serious.
That's brilliant. That's Alex, is that in character? That's not me. I love it.
Right then, okay.
Oh, old Ice Belly went on vacation, forgot to punch out. Now his ghost has to keep working. Love it.
I was like, what's the most dwarf thing I could think of? Dying on vacation when you forgot to punch out, and now you're cursed to work forever.
Brilliant.
Damn.
Yeah, so he nods, he throws his hands up, he's like, yeah, it's kind of the same thing with him. I think some people are afraid of working, and he snickers quite loudly to himself. And then,
Alright.
yeah, he'll start trundling up the stairs. Which I actually think this was supposed to be him, and I just lost track, but...
I did wonder who that was.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be him, and I just forgot to move him, but, like, meh, whatever.
Oops, sorry, moved the wrong one.
Yeah, I would say that now is probably your last chance to kind of do anything. It looks like you did a little grassroots campaign, talked to a few of the dwarves, got a little bit of an idea what was going on, and seems like you're satisfied or mostly satisfied with the turn of events.
Yeah, I think it was the path of the least violence possible. Like 0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am curious as to what else is in these tunnels, but at the same time, I don't know that, like...
Yeah, I want to go over here.
Yeah, I mean, you want to start poking around?
Well, that's where I asked if we could explore, and you said that, like, I guess while they're getting them ready, can I go explore?
Yeah, I think
let's go explore.
I'll pop in and I'll tell them that it's their time to say their goodbyes and do, what they need to do with, what was his name, Iljek?
Yeah.
So, that way.
Okay.
And then I'll stay behind while they explore.
Okay. Yeah, so you all kind of run down that tunnel to go check it out. Yeah, this wasn't me trying to, like, limit what you could do, but it was me being aware of, like, how much time you had available, right? Because the group has been very, like, let's solve this problem, which is completely fine. But then when the problem's solved and he's like, okay, let's move, and you're like, hold on, I didn't get to look at this place. Like, yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're right, you didn't. So as you go down this tunnel, it does widen up a little bit, but it looks like it's just into, not exactly a mirror of this setup, but, just more rooms and everything. And you pass a few more dwarves, In total down here, you probably get a count of, like, maybe 15 or 20 total.
Okay.
Kind of, and that's why I didn't want to say floating around. I misspoke before, because old Ice Belly does float. But I think the thing that stands out to you. What's that?
He went to consult a ghost. I love it.
Yeah, the thing that does stand out to you is everything you've seen so far is a little, like, ramshackle and looking a little rough, except this one doorway near the end of this hallway. It kind of spills open into a chamber, and about 3 or 4 more offshoots, all kind of doing different processes and fixing, repairing, and monitoring different things around this area. And then there's a door, right, like a Hobbit style door, like circular with a door handle in the middle. Very clean, very nice, great craftsmanship and construction, and that's probably the thing that stands out the most to you.
Is Maverick sensing anything as we go near that door?
I mean, I think you can smell there's a creature behind it.
Can I take a listen at the door?
Yeah, absolutely. I moved him. Hold on, we'll get the full ASMR immersive experience here. 1 second.
Oh yeah, I rolled the 1 again, motherfucker! Boom! Look at that roll.
What's all that about?
I rolled 1 on the D100 again, mate.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so as you kind of move up to it, right, you're just hearing... Right, just again and again.
I'm opening the door.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of a stuffy voice, dwarven voice, comes. You can just knock. You don't need to. Oh shit! The elves.
Yeah, I opened the door.
Yeah, as I'm saying, when you opened the door, he was saying, you don't need to come in. You can just knock, and then he goes, "Oh shit, elves," and gulps loudly.
What, the guy behind the door does? So it's a person?
Mm-hmm.
A dwarf?
Yep.
He looks at you and sees an elf, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm not an elf. What's he doing, though? What was the noise?
He was counting coins.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, we heard it.
Oh, okay.
So you're just standing there with the door open, not saying anything, Willie?
Yeah, I'm just like looking at him like... Nah, I'll just shut the door. I don't have anything to say. I'm just being nosy.
I was just going to say, hi, who are you? We're just down visiting.
Yeah, I like that, right? Like, RX starts to close the door, and you're like, hi!
Oh, yeah, I was waiting to see what RX was doing, and then he's closing the door. No, say hello.
I just stood there looking at the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was just like, clutching his pearls.
So what's your name?
Oh, is the door still open?
Well, I'm assuming...
Yeah. I'll stop closing the door when she speaks. When she starts speaking, I'll like stop swinging the door shut and then like swing it back open.
Yeah, he just world roll, world roll money branch. I'm the accountant. Who are you and why? Yeah, why?
Well, I'm Alicia, and this is my friend RX, and we're just explorers. We're down here trying to hopefully resolve an issue that happened. I'm not sure if you heard about the fight that occurred.
The elves, yes, I tabulated it all. Very, it's not good for us. It's not good. We're bringing everything I can back. We're foreclosing on this workshop.
We are charitable peacekeepers, currently working on a peacekeeping mission to try and make a peaceful resolution to the situation with the fight with the elves, so that there's no more bloodshed on either side. And like I said, we're a charitable organisation, so that's why we've come to speak to you, the accountant, because we came to see about a donation. We're currently running on empty on our funds. Like I said, we are a charitable organisation. We run on donations, so we have been sent here. Me, as a representation, I am the bookkeeper of the charity, and you are the accountant of this organisation. I came to get the donation.
So... And then you leave.
Yeah.
He sighs heavy, and he spins around in his little desk, and he starts fiddling with some numbers. He's like, and what kind of fee structure process if I what gets me out of here today, huh?
Well, because this is a serious matter. This is what we call a red alert. This is the top tier, because this is a life and death situation. We're saving lives. This is 4 figures, my friend. This is 1,000 gold pieces. But remember, this is a charitable donation, so your name will be printed in our monthly newsletter, in our top donators, and you will be rewarded for your donation, as well as, it will help to fund this organisation that has caused this peaceful resolution here today.
Yeah, he makes a bit of an awkward noise, which is all of the air escaping from his lungs and the sucking of his teeth at once at the thought of 1,000 gold pieces. Oh, go ahead.
I tell him that I've been around to assess the situation and how well you're doing in business and what size of organisation we're doing. And on the scale of it being a red alert crisis, that's what we've been asked to take as a donation. Minimum.
Yeah, he says, I do not have discretionary funds nor purchasing power at that magnitude. I have some... And he looks you up and down, and what sort of insight, like reading deception sort of acumen do you have? He's going to lie to you, and I want to know if you succeed.
Well, I have proficiency in acting, so I know if someone's doing it or not.
Okay, yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll it.
Oh, I failed.
So you get the idea that he's lying to you. You don't know to what level. So he tells you he has discretionary funds for situations like this, that he is able to do a one-time amount of 100 gold to just grease the wheels, close the door, nothing ever happened, no names will be exchanged, there will not be any notation on any newsletters.
Okay, so I'll take the 100 gold pieces from him, but I'm looking around the office. Is there anything else that I can, I'm assessing with, like, I'm appraising the value of things around. Is there anything else valuable that I can, like, try and bargain for here?
Yeah, I mean, he's, it's not like there's actually a lot of money that comes through this area. This is the penny pincher to make sure that they're not going over on time, going over on labor, going over on expenses. Yeah. Like, obviously, he does have to do some purchasing.
But we literally walked in and I'm counting money, though.
Yes, that's correct. Which is how you got, if you're taking the 100 gold.
Well, how much money is he, like, looking at the pile of money he's counting, how much are we talking that isn't literally in front of me? Because if he's counting a stack of 100,000 gold, I'm not taking 100 gold.
Yeah, he's counting more than 100 gold, but he's not counting 10,000 gold.
Okay, I'll take the 100 gold then.
Yeah. And there's also, obviously, a set of scales, right, that he's using to weigh and measure with. That would probably be worth something. And then the thing that might interest you are just a lot of books, right? Specifically, like finance books and records.
I'll tell him that we don't just take our donations in straight gold pieces, but we take any kind of currency or valuable items. So we'll take the books as well.
Because I can't give you the books. That's what keeps this place running. Who are you? You're a brigand. You've come in to steal from me. You're not peaceful.
We're a charitable organisation. We run on donations. We don't run without it.
Right now, you're a man threatening me in my own office.
Okay, I'll just take the money.
Scowls at you. He says, I'm no stranger to this, but yes, the Elven situation. You sounded like you had a hand in it?
We have a hand in solving the situation, making a resolution.
And he narrows his eyes at you. He says, well, what is the resolution then? What is old Rotbrack decided?
We're going to close up the other side of the mine, so they can't get down here anymore. You'll be left in peace.
So you won't need to close up this workshop.
And what of the elves?
They've agreed to go with the story that there was a battle, one of them was lost, and that everything, they couldn't do anything, they couldn't catch anyone, we were escaping when the explosion went off.
Oh, an explosion? That hasn't happened yet, has it?
That's not going to happen.
They're going to close the entryway once we leave.
But they'll be told that the whole thing is gone. We're just going to close off the entrance.
Do you want to make some more money, stranger?
Hi, Lily. Yes, I do.
It won't be peaceful.
What do you take me for? I told you I'm here representing a charitable, peaceful organisation of peacekeepers. How much money are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying I have certain discretionary funds. I can make things. Should old Rotbrack have an accident on the clock, well, I would just say that would be very beneficial to me.
Well, like Ice Belly.
Yeah, and the camera going into our first break would have this very dark vignette, and you have come to find out that old Money Branch has circular glasses that light up and shine bright gold, orange almost, right? As the rest of the room draws black, and you just see his spectacles as he fixes them.
Bro, this is like some Sin City shit.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? We cut back, right? Like, I actually want to snap back over to Winnie. They're finally like getting ready. Do you go in to like kind of usher them out, or are you letting them come out on their own?
Yeah, I'll wait for them to come out on their own, so I know they're done.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Who did he want us to kill?
Rotbrack, the engineer.
I'm not interested. Like, no, thank
No,
you.
I'm just keeping track of who.
Yeah,
where
you're taking notes.
what the alignment is in those people, because obviously Money Branch, and I mean Rockback didn't like him. He didn't go to talk to him, but we now know there's a rift between them.
Yes.
That's both ways, not just we don't like the accountant. It's the accountant doesn't like him either.
Yep.
Yes. So close, yeah. So, yeah, I just needed to know if they were doing a thing or not. So the elves come out, and you know, they do unfortunately, unhappily have bags over their heads, which is a little. It feels dangerous, right? But
they did tell us that they were going to blindfold them so that they couldn't report back what they saw, kind of thing.
Yeah, and to be clear, Alicia, you and still down this way.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, you're going to be coming back in a second. We just need to end your scene with Money Branch to decide what you're going to do. I as a DM, I like to snap things back and forth a lot.
Sorry.
Keep the action moving on all fronts. No, you're good. So Winnie, they're here, right? They're out. They're like, okay, and Robrack's like, yeah, the guys are bringing up the explosives right now. We're gonna send you up, and then we're gonna blow the tunnel, and well, you know, tell them you fought a bunch of us. You don't know what happened. We just blew the tubes to clear away and try and kill you, and it didn't work. Yeah.
Okay, Winnie's gonna ask the elves and the dwarves. Is it all right if I go back in there and put some give Iljek some of Freya's blessings?
The dwarves do not care. The elves are, however, like, we have seen to that. It is fine.
Oh, all right then.
And then they brandish his weapon, right? So this will go to his son.
And can I peek in the room and just make sure that the body is like still there and looks dead and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, the elves are not in a position to stop you, right? But you did get the sensation that they didn't want you to.
Like, not even open the door to look in?
I mean, they wouldn't want you to, no, but they have bags over their heads. So, you can do whatever you want. You go peek in.
No, I'll wait for Rx, and then I'll ask him to.
Okay. Yeah, so we snap back over then. Moving your dang little token. You get over here and you stay there.
Oh, what have you done?
You are staring at Money Branch, who is giggling to himself. He's like, yes, no, that'll be good. Yes, yes. What say you? Do you want some money?
I'm not sure about that, buddy. I'm trying to get a peaceful resolution here. This is the charitable donation is just about a peaceful resolution. I'm not here for money. I'm here for peace.
I am not starting a war between elves and dwarves. I am simply, he fixes his glasses, taking care of a few rounding errors that seem to keep causing a lot of trouble and complicating matters.
can take care of your own business when it comes to that kind of thing, my friend. I'll say nothing to nobody about you needing to take care of that kind of business, but leave me out of that.
I will not press. I simply saw you're a man of great means, inspired craftsmanship and leadership, and understood that you needed more money than I could toll out just for discretionary funds due to intimidation.
You are correct, but duty calls, my friend, and I'm not the man for the job today.
Understood. I appreciate your discretion. And he would hand you what is, for all intents and purposes, a business card, and it would have his name on it.
Right, I'll tuck this away for later. Okay, how about that?
Says yes. I have many needs, many plans, many irons, and many fires. You can call upon me anytime. I appreciate your discretion.
We'll draw money.
We'll see about your organization. Perhaps I can help it grow.
Where would we find you?
Because I am not some simpleton like these fools stuck in a hole in the ground. I can come and go into the Selayan Isles as I wish. I hold great stature within the Long O organization, and I will see myself increase, both monetarily and height. And he snickers.
And if we want to reach you, how would we contact you?
My forwarding address is on the back of the card. Anything that is shipped post to the Long O can be forwarded to my address. Or inquire at one of our many... They're not a storefront per se, but a service station. I won't be immediate, obviously, but yeah, it'll get to me. Don't you worry. And he looks very smug. He says, "I'm very important."
I'm sure you are. I'm sure a very important man gives only 100 gold piece donation when it's a red alert, life or death.
I told you.
Peacekeeping situation.
That's all I can do. They don't give me unlimited spending power. I just gave you 100 gold. That's months and months of work. You understand. So surely you must understand. I did things that no one else in this room could do today. Because I wished it.
You also talk to people about doing some not so peaceful things and expect people to just be quiet about that. People who you've not given huge donations to. But I'm just talking. Never mind that.
I didn't expect anything. You offered your silence, and I rewarded it in kind by saying I will assist you further down the road. You seem to be very confused with the situation here.
I'm just trying to make sure I got the right good deal out of you, but it's alright, I trust you.
Good. Very good. Any nods? Anything else you want out of that scene?
I wanted a wee bit more money, but I'm not getting it.
Okay, so you guys want to fold back in at the storehouse?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So everyone can slide their minis over to the area here, and so Winnie, Rx, and Alicia show up pretty quickly.
And I'll just hush, tell Rx. So, would you mind going in and just peeking and seeing if that elf is still in there and passed away? I'm not too sure what their funeral arrangements necessarily were, but I want to make sure that, we don't end up having any trouble with the dwarves in case a body was missing or something.
Sure. Absolutely, of course. The dwarves need the body. So, right, okay, I'm going to go in. Just walk in casually, and then I'm going to tell them that I need to perform a funeral dirge for the body. It's part of my culture.
Yeah, and they're like, well, you should have done that earlier. The preparations are set. There is no need. Now we must go. And the elves are creating a lot of urgency to this situation.
But by going in, I've managed to see that the body is still there.
Yeah, I mean, they can't stop you, right? They're bound. They have hoods over their heads. They're just being very weird about it. The dwarf just sort of looks at you and shrugs. He doesn't care. So yeah, when you poke your head in, you do see, in fact, that the body is still there.
Okay. I'll go back and report to the boss.
Do you do a funeral dirge or no?
Oh yeah. I need to. I mean, it needs to be convincing, the whole thing that I did.
Sure. So you do it. You do a little ditty.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Does anybody want to do anything else, or are you content to be escorted back up to the surface?
I think we're good to go up there. I mean, what?
Yeah.
We've explored about as much as they'll let us. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you go up. Any questions? Anything for the elves? Any concerns, plans, whatever?
No.
No,
All
I
right.
think once we get to the spot where we're gonna plant the explosives, we'll probably just check in with them to make sure we got.
The dwarves are gonna basically. Sorry. So up here, right up on the top, right. The dwarves are basically gonna plant stuff here and here, right, on either side, and then another bunch down this one, right. So they're gonna blow this chunk and this chunk.
Can you shift ping on the map where it is?
Oh, so it'll drag you there. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're blowing this chunk and then this specific hallway because they need this, right? But they don't care about this, but they want to like make it look good. So they've got two chunks. So remember, you came down, I think like 100 feet off this map. I don't remember exactly how far it was.
Right.
It's not like you're right up against the secret entrance or anything, but they are not giving you a ton of room to work with.
And these elves that are going back up, and us that are going back up, we're telling them that this whole lab is exploded.
Yeah, currently they're hearing that, yeah.
We're telling them the whole thing is exploded. Sorry, I was off control. I was off my push to talk, so I was on a different button on roll.
Gotcha. No, I understand. You're saying you're spinning them a bit of a yarn. They understand that there's an explosion happening and that some of the dwarves are alive, but you're kind of telling them like, no, we're going to collapse the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether or not they believe it, we'll see, but that's the story you're passing along. Okay, cool.
And I'm just making sure I'm on the same page as what the actual story is going to be told.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right, so did anybody want to modify, change anything? Or because basically it would just be like, all PCs report to, this area, and then the cutscene will go and they blow both tunnels.
I think that's good.
I'm happy to blow it, like...
Cool.
Take my 100 gold and go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the whole earth shakes, right? The caverns teeter dangerously as if they're going to collapse at any moment, but the tried and true Dwarven construction of most of these places holds steady, and you're just in a partially collapsed tunnel, right? Looks like you could get into here if you really wanted to, but you'd have to excavate some stuff out.
Yeah, I think I'm good with all that.
Yeah, I'm good. Hi, Tyrek. Sorry.
Yeah, the elves are like, can you take our blindfolds off? Like we're good. We're here. It's done.
Yeah, I think once we get to that spot, that's fine.
Yeah. I'll help one of them with that. I'll take the blindfold off of one of them.
I can't reach.
Take them off the other one because I don't know that Winnie could reach.
Yeah, no, I can't. Didn't bring my ladder.
Did you not bring your ladder? Yo, Steph.
We left the ladder with the pony.
Yeah, Morgan's taking care of it.
So I believe you don't have your ladder.
Do you guys want a conversation here, or are you just going up to the...
I mean, I'm ready to go up, unless anybody else wants to do something with it.
No, I think I'm good to go.
Nice. So as you kind of get up to the surface here, two things. One, there is a door, like a set of iron bars that has been, for all intents and purposes, welded into the hallway, right? Blocking your path forwards. You can't get upstairs now. They've sealed off the secret passageway.
So that's what the guy said, that Primus already had plans to close this off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find the name too. Because the second thing is Primus is standing kind of like just beyond that gate, right? So like you might be able to hit him. You could definitely hit him with a spell. You might be able to hit him with, like a reach weapon, but you wouldn't be able to like fish a sword through and stab him if you wanted to. As he goes, "Oh, hey, look at you all. Question for you. Oh my god, I cannot pronounce this. This is Fibzen. I'll spell that. Good lord. He's with the church. He's been attached to our regiment. So, Winifred the Humble, who are you?
I'm Winifred from the Church of Freya.
But not attached to our regiment.
I told you that that Freya was calling me this place. I didn't say that I was necessarily attached to a regiment or company. However, as you will see behind me, I do have your compatriots who are relatively unscathed. We managed to somehow make it out alive.
Yes, I just heard that loud boom. Was that Dwarven work?
Right, it was the Dwarven's equipment exploding, I believe. Some stray spell or something.
Yeah, they start saying something in Elven, which RX, obviously, you hear and understand.
I do.
As they're like, there were a lot of dwarves down there. We lost Iljark. Couldn't recover his body, but we left them a gift.
Okay.
And Primus just nods and, seemingly without missing a beat. He says, Winifred the Humble and friends, I don't like being lied to. And now Secundus needs to be punished for not figuring out whatever this is. He's just sort of gesturing vaguely in your direction. Says, but I do think that you can be useful still. Look at this. You still got the job done despite not being properly organized, misrepresenting yourself. I could use that. I could use some deniable assets. So, shall I open this door, or are you in league with the dwarves now?
If Winnie doesn't reply, I'll say, I'm like, you sent her down here for violence. She's managed to come out with a peaceful resolution.
True. Not really fond of the way she arrived. But as I said, I can get creative with...
But don't the ends justify the means?
Oh. That is not a question we are prepared to answer here. Says Prince Saleo certainly thinks so. As do I. Though the Elven Supreme must not. No?
Yo, thanks for the follow.
So
Oh my goodness.
outside of this dialogue question, Prince Saleo is the guy who wants to be in charge, but the Elven Supreme and Lorik were trying to keep that from happening.
The Elven Supreme is the real power, isn't he?
What's that?
Isn't the Elven Supreme the real power?
Theoretically, yeah. The Elven Supreme would not deal with day-to-day functions, but would wield like absolute power. And
so
then
these guys are actually working against the Elven Supreme guy and for the prince. I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, so Prince Saleo was a nobody, right, that worked his way up in the military. founded a ranger organization to go get more recruits, more information, more experience, more magic items, right? And then returned to these Elven Islands, the Industrial Elven Islands, and continued working his way up over a long period of time. There are two people keeping him from being functionally, the king of all elves, and that is the secret and mysterious Elven Supreme, who is said to be the longest lived elf currently, right? It's a little vague, but like the title would seem to pass, if they died, to the next, right? You think, as well as Prefector Lorik, who is someone who does not trust in the and I don't know if I've said this before, so you might be getting a little information now. He does not believe in the change in the calling. He doesn't trust it.
Oh, all right. Doesn't trust it, like.
Doesn't trust it.
Okay. Doesn't disbelieve it.
I mean, it is there, so it can't not be true, right? Yeah. Like, he does not believe that is the way for elves to, continue to glory. He would encourage people to ignore that calling and to not go do it. He does not. The only reason he believes you should go into the Elven ancestral lands is for a, specific religious observation, not the calling observation. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So if we align ourselves with Primus by agreeing to be his unofficial off the books guys, yes, we're actually aligning ourselves with the prince against Lorik and the Elven Supreme.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean,
I thought these guys were the bad guys.
I mean, probably not forever, right? Probably not at the highest levels of government, but yes, theoretically, through your actions, he will be guiding you towards things that align with Prince Saleo and disagree with both Prefector Lorik and the Elven Supreme.
You can't please
also,
all
I apologize
all the time.
What? Yeah, exactly. I apologize. I'm going to step away for 1 sec again.
No worries.
But the question is really, like, you could double back and try and just dig your way back through the, down into the dwarves. It would be hard now. But certainly not impossible, right? You could attempt to combat, you could lie, or you could just say, yep, cool, we work for you, dude, and continue that thread. I'll give you guys a sec to think about it.
What do we think? I don't want to go back down and kill the dwarves.
Well, so what they were talking about in Elvish made it sound like the body was now a bomb.
Is that what it?
Because they had said that. Because they had said like we left them something.
A present.
Right, a present, which is nefarious and suggests that it's going to do harm to them.
Yeah, or like it's got a disease or something.
Yeah, could be a plague.
Yeah.
Or an pandemic.
But I mean, is this just your suspicion, or do you have this information from someone?
Well, that's just what they were saying to you, so Winnie wouldn't know it. But the problem is, if that does turn out to be something like that, you were also in there.
I was in there as well, yeah, I went in.
So they might not know.
If it's a plague, I might be infected.
If it's a bomb, it's just a bomb.
Right, and also, whoever might survive from whatever it is might trace it back to us and then come after us.
And Dave's sneaky enough, he could do that.
Oh, this is very true.
Like, we could always later on send a money or a message to, what was his, Money Branch?
Money Branch, yeah, he could easily be contacted, like, but this is the thing, yeah. I never thought of that at all. Like, you've picked it up. They were talking to me and they've said, "Oh, we're leaving them a present," and you've picked it up and I didn't. Like, or they were talking in Elvish. You didn't even pick it up. So when I've translated it to you, backpedaling or whatever you call it, retroactively, when I've translated it to you from the Elvish and told you what they said, you've told me that it's a bomb. Because I didn't click on.
Yeah, or something.
Or
Something
something,
nefarious.
Something that's gonna harm the dwarves.
Oh, they didn't like put a plague on it, and now I've caught it because I just wandered in. Oh, by the way, I need to sing a wee funeral dirge.
And if you've got it, we've got it. Because you just walked with us.
Yeah, I just marched in, like, fuck.
But I don't know that going back now would really do anything to benefit us, you know?
No.
Because if it's a bomb, they could detonate it when we're there. If it's a plague, we're all dead anyway. And we're carriers.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to us, Dave?
Yeah.
What made you paranoid?
We're suspicious about the present that they've left with the elf, with the dead body.
I think that's a very smart thing to be suspicious of.
And we're very thankful that Winnie is a suspicious person.
Yeah, that was what my rolling d20 target number 3 or lower was. The dwarves were very unlikely to find Winnie was slightly more likely, but she did not go in.
So, should we align with them to get out?
Yo, Big Ponzo, what's up, bro?
I don't know that we're in any condition to really fight right now. I mean, I got my temporary hit points, but like, I don't know how strong these peeps are, and I've got 0 spells.
I definitely don't want to fight these guys, like.
No. And we're in a tunnel where we don't know where it's going with a potential bomb that could, who knows how big it is and how much it would destroy. And we're down there if we stay there. I say we align ourselves?
I mean, we're only telling them that we're aligned, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. There's no contract here, right?
No.
He's definitely he's deliberately putting you in a difficult position.
I can tell them anything. You've seen my alignment.
Yeah, so from our brief episode break, right? He comes back. He says, "So, what's the plan? Shall I open this door? I would love to have you assist me further."
I say we do it. Open the door.
Open her up.
Winnie?
I mean, we're in a pretty precarious situation, but you're offering us something very tempting.
No, this is wonderful. Very good. Please, be nice to our guests. Just talking to somebody off screen, and somebody shows up and unlocks the door. Says, now to be clear, I am locking this door behind me and keeping the key, and I am demolishing this building. We cannot have anyone sneaking in to the Slayan Isles, least of all dwarves.
Understood.
We understand that, and of course it prevents any more incidents.
Indeed. Says, currently I have nothing for you, but what do you need from me? How can I be most helpful? What will make you feel good about this alliance today?
Monetary compensation.
Monetary compensation. I understand. Says, I can give you each a week's wage in advance for your help here today, your understanding of the situation, and your ability to provide services rendered at some point in the future. Would that be amenable?
I'll look at Winnie like, and I'll whisper like, is that too much, or is that okay?
That sounds like a fair deal. I would just ask that you split my wages among Rx and Alicia.
Does that make you the first spear then?
I'll look
Don't know
at
what that means.
I'll look at Winnie and I'll like take a step, like half a step behind her, so like, you know, if we're in like a triangle formation now.
Yeah.
So I'm like one step behind her to make it look like she is, like psychologically she's in front of me. She's the leader.
Sure. Yeah, he nods. This is good. Not every group has a first spear, but as the first spear, you would be the leader, the first into the fray, the one that I would speak to make sure the others were informed. Is that you, Winifred the Humble?
Oh.
They seem to be nodding.
I don't think that I'd refer to myself that way, but anything you share with me, I'll share with my companions.
The first spear receives a bit more pay as well.
Oh,
well, it's getting divided among my companions anyway, so...
Indeed, as you said. 10 gold a week for your 2 soldiers, 15 for yourself. The additional 5 comes from being the first spear. I will leave you, and he puts out a single coin. He puts it, he's holding it in the palm of his hand towards you when he says, I will not presume to know who should hold the unsplit coin. I can split it for you if you prefer.
No, that's fine. See that it gets to Iljek's family.
Kind, yes.
Well
Anyway, says, although you needn't worry too much, from what I have been told, I am sure Iljek will have his glorious revenge.
Wait a minute.
I hear the music. Dun, 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 dun.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Well, he knows something now about this body. Iljek is the dead one, eh? The body. That's what she's talking about. Yeah, right. He knows something now about this bomb.
Well, and it's his people that planted whatever the gift was. So you would think they would have been under his instruction to do whatever. It doesn't surprise me he knows.
Might I ask what you meant by that?
He goes, well, it's fairly straightforward, but we cannot suffer such a insult as a dead elf on the Selayan Islands by hands of our enemies. If that makes sense.
What have you done?
Oh my god, I cannot. Sorry, I'm fighting with the overlay too. How do you do the filter to each individual webcam as opposed to applying it to all of them?
Because I have each
in Streamlabs. And I'm doing filters, it's just applying to each of them, but Goofin doesn't need one.
Each window capture I've done individually.
And some of my trees disappear.
Yeah, it's like destroying your shirt on my screen right now.
I think that it would be upon you making like a separate source for Google.
Okay.
Yeah, I did 4 different window captures, so I just applied the filter to 2 of them.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna have to fight with it next time then. Sorry, Goofin, your shirt looks a little wild right now.
That's okay. Next time I'll remember, don't wear anything that's blue or green.
Hey, I kind of like it. It looks like velvet.
It does kind of look like velvet. You're not wrong. Yeah, so you asked specifically what does that mean, right? It's like,
oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know specifically what, Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm looking up a name. Quispago did. But he is a specialist in matters of both traps and arcane magic. So he turns and looks, and we just, it's the dude, and he's still got his arms behind him. Someone's probably like just cut them free, right? So he his hands kind of snap out real quickly, right? And he's just grinning. He's got a giant shit-eating grin on his face, and he's got 2 like ruby gems like inserted into the palms of each of his hands.
This motherfucker, what has he done?
And he was the guy with the antenna in his head.
Correct.
The sneaky drow bastard, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, he does not seem to be answering. Smiling.
I want to run up to him, scream in his face, "What have you done?"
Yeah. You run up to him and yell at him?
Yeah, man. I'm very angry.
Yeah, he sort of starts, he kind of jumps back. He's like, "Well, why do you care? They killed him. They would have killed us if you hadn't stumbled in there and managed to bargain for our lives at the cost of letting them all live."
Uh-oh.
And the whole room just sort of looks.
So you just killed them anyway?
And it's like, no, it won't kill all of them. They'll probably kill somebody, whoever's foolish enough to desecrate his body. If they leave it alone, they might get out of it. I don't care.
So you send us to kill them, and just in case we decide it's morally disgusting to kill them, which it might have been, you had a backup plan that's going to kill them anyway.
So to be clear, Primus didn't know who was alive. He also didn't know that Quispago set a trap.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. So you can definitely be mad at Quispago, insinuate that it was, which is fine. And to be clear, like, Primus doesn't give a shit. He's fine with, right? Like, he's on Operation Kill all of them.
Yeah. So no, I'm getting too wound up for someone with my alignment. I'm just gonna close my mouth like, I'm sorry. I'm right. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're well within your right to be like, that's shitty. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine, because it was.
What was Primus's reaction to hearing that the plan was the dwarves would stay alive?
I think that as opposed to trying to dig more information out of you, right? Like, right now he's like, you guys are good, you're good, and Quispago and Myrili have a lot of explaining to do. So to be fair, like, they might have told him. They definitely weren't going to tell him immediately, right? They might not have told him, and because they would have more explaining to do, right? And now they do, because I think that Quispago sort of panicked when Rx got in his face.
And Primus may or may not believe him. They could just be making a story as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, I think that he needs to get a real sense of the situation. I think what's most likely is he's probably not satisfied with putting the matter to rest. Whereas if that hadn't happened, he probably would have not cared, right? Demolish the house, the door is locked, I don't care. And now he's like, I might have to look into this. It's not like, just like you said, somebody mouthing off doesn't make it intrinsically true.
I understand what you did, dwarf or elf, but what you don't understand is Rx went in there and he did something as well. And if that body is exploded or unleashes anything, you ruin our future plans for tracking down the head of their organization. Can you remove your spell so that we can get a better understanding of their organization and potentially find other areas where they might be coming to the surface?
Nice work, is
go ahead and roll a charisma check real quick for me.
Okay.
Take a -3 to your roll, which is good for you.
My
Okay, so
Discord froze up, so I missed what Winnie asked.
She is lying to the drow, saying our plan is to figure out where all of the dwarven hidey holes and secret supply caches are.
Okay.
So roll 1d20 -3, and
Yeah.
if that's lower
Which is
than
good. Yeah, you're looking for an 11 or lower. So
Hey.
look at that.
Boom.
Fantastic.
-1.
Yeah.
Like bonus points?
Primus starts laughing out loud, right? Like, just like actually laughing. And he's like, my goodness, you are not just a first spear. You have a great future ahead of you, Winnie the Humble. Such viciousness I have not seen since I took my turn at the Tomoto Islands. this, and I don't know, like, are you okay with people touching you, or would you be not? Would you like kind of wince away as he goes to reach for you?
Probably from him, I would not like him touching me.
Okay, yeah, like if you give the indication that you don't want it, he, right, like he goes to like clasp you with both hands.
Is she still all swole though? Is she like still physically altered and huge?
Oh yeah.
At this point,
it's probably just starting to wind down now. Like she's gonna have some pretty extreme dump shock in a minute, but honestly, you guys went through that pretty quick. What's that? Yeah, you muscles deflated. Yeah. So if you don't want to be touched, right, like he kind of drops his hands, he goes, an Opito, a Quilifier, an Evocatus, Winnie the Humble. You will truly save us. This is good. And he turns, Quispago, can you cancel the spell then if they can use this to find more? And he goes, symbol does not work like that. I etched it backwards on the ground. If they move the body, it will explode. It's that simple. There's nothing more to it. And they're right. They just start arguing about a spell, basically.
Okay, so at least I'm not infected with a curse. That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't have the plague.
Yeah, before Winnie, turned the situation sideways, Quizpago was just going to ask you if you touched the body. Like you didn't explode, right? But he didn't know that, right? Like he didn't hear an explosion, but theoretically he didn't know what you did with the body. So, but yeah, you would probably feel pretty safe. Like the implication is that disturbing the body and seeing the symbol is what does the thing to you. So. Yeah. You guys seem to be safe, but yeah, Primus has gone from thinking your group as a bit of a deniable asset, right, and maybe some troublemakers he can throw at a problem he doesn't care about, to you just moved up the list as far as being like his lead contractors right now. Nice. So you'll have to deal with that later, but right now he very much likes you.
That's good.
Maybe.
I mean,
Primus's crowd are the ones that Maverick couldn't smell. There's something off with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at the moment we don't have any contacts on either side of anything, so we need to get what we can get.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, are you content with that, Winnie?
Yeah, if you'll excuse us, Primus, I think we've had quite a day, and we need to get back.
Yeah, he turns and says, please, I would love to sit and have further conversations with you. Can I send for you for dinner in a day or two?
I don't see the harm in that, but don't doubt us again.
Yeah, and I feel like I mentioned it. If I didn't, I'll say it again now. They wear like half plate cloaks, right? Pauldrons and masks, right? Like the full like helmet is more of like a face mask.
Oh, cool.
And you can't see it because he's got the mask, right? But we would get the sense that he is smiling proudly.
I'll walk away.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Where does the camera return upon the group? Are you back at your bar, your tavern, your room, or are you just on the street somewhere?
Well, we need to spend some time documenting this, writing this out. I've got great poems to write about the adventures of Winifred the Humble. And we need to feed the security. The dog and the barbarian need fed. It's an operation. We need things to do for it to run. So yeah, we need food and alcohol. And
I also have a question of what time of day it is. At some point today, yesterday, the day before, whatever it was, we were supposed to meet AI Twin at 4:00 after his work. Have we missed that meeting? I'm assuming it's a 4:00 every day. So we can say, sorry, we missed yesterday. Do we want to go visit AI Twin?
Yeah, you missed him one day. You were late to your dinner with.
Yeah.
And then so now it's the next day.
But
it's early evening the next day.
So we've missed him again.
Yeah.
Or potentially he could still be there.
Yeah, he would probably be at where place you were going to meet him, probably getting food at this point.
Let's go see if he's there anyway.
On the way there, just talking to Rx and Alicia, I wish we had some way to contact those dwarves. Did you happen to find another tunnel that might lead to the surface while you guys were exploring?
Well, I do have a way to contact them, so I'll whip out this business card with the accountant's details on it and see what that says.
Yeah, so basically, you know, there would be some sort of postal service that existed, and you would address it to, you know, like the Long O, right, as a business, but then he would have like a suite number, a room number, right, like a specific sub
so
address.
It's not a real contact, it's a business contact.
He also mentioned these service stations that they have.
Yeah.
Could that potentially be that place, that store we went to that sent us to the safe house?
So not in that case. That was actually a front that was using the safe house illegally without the dwarves knowing. Okay. It would basically be like a customer service terminal. If you wanted to ship something or buy passageway on the Long O, you could just say, hey, I'm looking, right, and they would be able to do it. It would be a bit like going to a UPS store to get in touch, you know, with your UPS rep, but it would work, right? Like they would be able to tap into the network and get you there.
So this Money Branch fellow, is he the only contact that we have for down there? You didn't find any tunnels or anything else?
Yeah, so you would all know... Oh, sorry.
Well, not that we explored, because Winnie wasn't with us when we explored. We just found Money Branch and then had to come back. There were other offshoots, but we weren't able to explore them.
Perhaps we can give him a message then that there's a trap on that body. I don't know how he would use that information, but hopefully it hasn't been detonated yet.
It's not going to get to him in time, though. It's like a postal service. We're just going to go all the way around the Long O to get to him.
But we don't know how long it'll take for them to go and try and dispose of the body. It's worth a try. Unless there's a risk of it being... We'd have to make it a very carefully worded message so that anyone potentially reading the mail wouldn't be able to decipher what it is we're trying to tell him.
Yeah, just for my own edification, two things. One, the crane lifted things up and put them down into the Long O. So theoretically, if you could get onto the Long O and find where you were, right, you could come up it. If you guys remember that, everyone saw the crane because that was where the general labors were. Two, you would know at least by reputation, if not personal firsthand experience. There is a spell called Sending that will let you send a message to a person. You would need to find a wizard that could do that.
But if we find the top of the crane and just drop the message down there, it's right next to him. Because he's right next to the general, the hard labour guys, isn't he?
Well, we made friends with the labor guys, so maybe we could ask Garner, Oiden, or Thorn, one of them, hey, could you pass this, like drop it to them?
Yeah.
And ask them to pass it to Money Branch.
Well, that's it. We got friendly with them. If we drop it to them and say, you know, this needs to get to him, it would get to him, I think.
Yeah, an urgent.
Yeah.
We know you don't like the dude, but...
How long would it take to run the entirety of the Long O to try and find the location that we were at?
Yeah, you're not entirely sure. Like, obviously walking it is slower than or riding it, right? They don't let other people in, but the opportunity does exist, right? Like, clearly there are smugglers. This can't be the only smuggling operation in the Selayan Isles. Or if it is, well, you guys just really screwed up because you blew it. You could also just...
But it can't be that far from us because we walked, like, all we did was walk back out to the house.
Yeah.
So if you have a sense of how far south it is from the house.
Is there like a subway map where it kind of shows like the above ground landmarks?
That's what we need.
We just need to find an outlet that's just south of the house.
All of the Longo only has one stop here, above ground. It's on a different island. Hold on, let me move you guys over. So, yeah.
So our walk went from one island to another island.
Yeah, you took a ferry. So that's the specific island that the Longo comes in on, and you guys are over here. So it's a cave network that must come from this island.
Gotcha.
But what I'm saying is the house, like where the crane is, let me understand. The crane goes to the surface, correct?
No, it goes down into the Longo.
Goes down into the Longo.
Yeah. So think of.
Okay. No.
Let's say. No, you're
You
good.
have like a subterranean level, and then you have like a basement to that where the.
That's the official Longo, right?
Yeah.
And theoretically, everyone riding it comes in this way, drops off goods and services, and then leaves. What you discovered was that, like any operation, things break down, things need repairs, whatever else. At some point, the Longo also had like a dip here, right? Not for personnel. Not supposed to have personnel coming onto the islands, although there was a secret passageway to it, right? And then
there had to be, because those guys weren't upset when we said we were going to blow the door. They weren't coming in through the safe house.
Right. But, maybe there's one over here, right? Maybe there's another offshoot. And I'm doing a bad job with it, but right, the idea that there's probably others somewhere. So like you could get into the Longo here, although you're only allowed to ride it, but you could maybe find another safe house right here and then go up, right, or here and then take the tunnels through. If you go in through here, you might be able to find the walk path and then, right, that kind of thing.
It might be faster to find the wizard who can send the message.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
What level spell is sending?
I don't actually know in second edition. I gotta look. I can't imagine it's very high because it's only like 30 words.
It's not very high. Yeah, I've been using it in my game, but I don't remember what level it was.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be 1 or 2. Like I just can't think it's.
It's not 1.
It's not 1.
Not
Hang
2
on.
either.
Might not be from the base book. It might be from one of the splat books, though.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
seeing
level
that.
5?
Is it?
Wow, it's higher than I expected.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to happen soon. Unless we find a high-level wizard.
Yeah. Right, hang on. I want to look at that as well. Magic. Wizard spells.
You did a good job, Winnie, of keeping the boat close to the wharf there for a minute. I thought you were going in.
Oh yeah, no, I'm grasping for like rope right now. That's what happens when you start lying, is there's a web of lies and you forget which lie you told.
Well, and now if we do get a message to Money Branch, we will have 1 foot on each firmly. We're in both camps.
Right, so to cast a level 5 spell in this edition, you need to be a level 13 wizard. So that's high level.
Yeah, that's way higher than I expected.
I mean, we could try going to the church.
Yeah, is there some sort of divine magic equivalent, Dave? Do you know?
I feel like there has to be.
But would the church, could there potentially be a spy in there who would tell our
Yeah, I think anytime
alliance?
you an
Definitely.
extra person, we have that risk.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking the church, if they're, like, you went to the church, they all of a sudden, like Primus, all of a sudden likes you because you went to the church. So I'm just thinking a church might be risky to go pass a message to the dwarves.
Yep.
That's my thought. I'd rather go find a neutral wizard.
So, a couple options. We can try and find a wizard that's high enough. don't know how much it's gonna cost. Don't know what we're gonna really have to do to get that message encrypted enough to where they don't understand what we're saying. Option 2 is we can try and find Snorri and see if maybe he knows a way down to that area, but I feel like there's like a lot of urgency behind this, so by the time we get down there, it's probably gonna be.
I think Snorri is a good shout, actually. I think there's more to Snorri, though. I think he might be the guy we're looking for, eh?
And I mean, we can also ask AI Twin when we meet with him, because he knows a little bit more.
Maybe he knows if there's an express post way to get a message to Money Branch.
Or maybe with one of these enhancements, there's some way of doing it as well, beyond the spell.
So, I mean, we've got options. I just think the fastest way of getting that warning there would be through a wizard.
Okay. Do you want to go to Yak to try and, like, she seems to be the best local information? Or do you want to go to iTwin to try and play up the Dwarven Longo connection?
The Yak's our best connection for trying to really find something, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you go back to she's the bar, not the Three Bottle Club. That was the place she took you at the Hexer bar. The Harpy.
The Harpy.
Yeah, the Harpy. So you get out to the Harpy, you know, and she sort of, you know, looks you up and down when you all come into the room. And, like, honestly, you look better now than before, right? No one's taken any more damage.
Thankfully.
Yeah, so I think it's just and you know, like, as you're walking, Winnie, hate to double down and make you feel worse, but you're dragging. You're coming off that Freya juice, that Freya fighting milk.
Oh man.
Which is less like you know, not hangover, not withdrawal or anything, but really just like feeling the full effects of how shitty you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you were on
did every couple of steps.
Yeah, you were on painkillers for a long time for an illness that hasn't been solved, basically, and now you're like, ah, crap. It was nice to forget for an hour or two.
You tell you haven't taken recreational drugs, David. It's called a come down.
Oh, it's called a come down. Excuse me. Look at that.
Sorry to fucking be that guy, guys.
Oh, that's fine. I like to have good source material. Shit. And yeah, she'll kind of look at you. I mean, is there anything you want to hold back as far as your conversation, or are you keep pretty much giving her everything?
I think maybe holding back who our contact is and stuff.
Yeah.
As in Primus?
Yeah.
Both
Primus.
Primus and Money Branch.
Okay.
We're
So you're just
trying to-
telling her. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. We're trying to get a message, and we're wondering if there's a wizard who can do send.
Yeah, I think that's pretty likely. Let's see what her relation is to this individual.
I mean, this is an elven civilization. There's going to be a lot of mages, right?
Yeah, she can definitely recommend you to someone. Just, you know, is she on good terms with them?
And can she loan us enough money? I only got 100.
Nice. Look at that. So yeah, she's got somebody that can help you out. She says, yeah, interestingly enough, I had to hire someone to fireproof the bar. It's just how it works around here. You can't have a building if you know, especially with rowdy humans and, you know, drunk halflings, etc., without having some sort of insurance and a one-time payment to, you know, basically magically fireproof this place was way cheaper than paying insurance all the time. So that was my out. So he just sent, you know, acolytes to come through and build the enchantments a few times over the course of the year. But yeah, I've got you somebody.
How's his rates?
Pretty high for a sending spell. It's a simple spell. He'll do it, you know, so that's good. You don't have to quest for weird, you know, reagents and unguents and such, but you'll still have to pay pretty much full price.
And what is full price?
I'm trying to look that up right now, actually. Unless the second edition has specific spell costs, I'm just going to steal from 3.5 because I know they exist. Do you have any knowledge of that, Oliver?
I do. What's it? 100, 200, 400, 1600, 2500, like that.
Yeah, it's similar. It definitely compounds a little more.
It's not like 100, 200, 300, 400. It has to go higher, like.
Right. Yeah, logarithmic. Yeah, I was in the neighborhood of, and yours would be what, 2,500?
Yes.
Let me see how it compares to the 3.5 stuff, just because I know it exists there. But I would say telling the group about 2,000 is about where you're looking right now. And I'm gonna grab a book.
Oh, well.
That's not gonna happen.
Maybe we should have murdered the guy.
Should have been a wizard. So we're looking at like another 1,900.
So, okay, I have
Yeah,
19
we're a
gold.
long way off.
Yeah, I have 19 gold. That's not gonna help a bunch, but at least I got 19 gold.
Crap.
Okay, that kind of kills the wizard send thing. AI twin for express post.
Perhaps.
Yeah, we're finding Snorri.
Yeah.
Because Snorri might get us a location to a safe house that's like right next to it, you know?
There might be another one, like.
Yeah. What do you want to chase down?
Pardon?
What direction do you want to go next?
I think we're going to the I-twin next.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just Yak. Is there anyone who can do a send spell that you know of that isn't quite so expensive?
No, especially not someone who is pretty neutral. There's certainly a lot of elves around here who can cast spells. Probably some who can even do it. Probably some who can do it cheaper that don't use magic, that just use this new technology. But you being vague about who you need to talk to and why, that tells me you probably don't want lots of people knowing.
You'd be right.
Yeah, we appreciate your discretion.
I can't even find the chart marker. Oh, there we go. Yeah, actually, 3rd edition would have this spell much cheaper, but I think it also probably has sending at a lower level too.
How much is it in 3rd edition?
If I'm doing the math right, it would be 650.
We're still nowhere. We've got 100 gold and that's it. We've got like 117 or something.
Yeah, do you want to go talk to the mage, or you said you just want to go talk to iTwin?
Yeah.
We could. I mean, we could try and like sweet talk him.
Oh, I've got.
You're up persuasion, right?
That's what I do.
We could try it. If the dice likes us.
What can Yak tell us about this person? Female person, male person, what?
Yeah, male. Half elf, I think. Maybe quarter elf.
Ooh, that's like me.
Been here a long time. Just, ingratiated themselves into, the political climate without ruffling too many feathers. Likes to keep it that way. Yeah, sending in 3.5 just because it happened to be the book I grabbed was a cleric and cleric level 4, sorcerer and wizard 5, but I didn't see it as a cleric spell in 2nd edition.
Oh, I'll have a quick look.
Yeah, bit of an odd one. So eclectic, like.
So, JK. Because clerics have a spell called Messenger at level 2. But I didn't think that was... I thought it was the same thing, and then I opened it up, and it's not.
Oh, you saw that and then read it, and it didn't do.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Damn, that stinks.
Yeah, I'm just looking through pre-spells at the moment as well.
Because basically you would just summon a... You could summon a bird or something, tell it to go to a specific place, and, like, tie a note to it.
But we'd need to know where to send it, to send the bird to it.
Yep.
Only get yourself a mole and sneak back into the house.
Do you want to try persuading the mage?
Don't see anything. Yeah, I do. I'm just having a quick look at the book, but I don't think I see anything. No, I don't. Yeah, I'll have a word. I'll see if I can speak to him. What was his name?
I gotta make it up. Did not prep for a weird mage to do a sending spell.
Let's try him anyway.
We have to keep you on your toes, Dave.
You're doing a great job of it, in fact. I know what he wants. I prepped that, which is fun. Because I just... no prep is wasted. So something that would have been a job that someone came to you for, just because I knew the group needed money, so I wrote up a bunch of jobs that you could do, right, just to like make some money and shit.
You just have to just recycle. You just recycle stuff if it gets missed.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like and now instead of needing money, you need someone, right? Like we need to do a favor so we can do a thing. Cool, I already got the favor. I know what it is. So just gotta assign it to the guy. It works perfectly. It was weird as shit, so it makes even more sense being a mage.
So we could, instead of paying for it, we could barter for it or do work for him in exchange for it.
Exactly.
Will he
So I'm figuring out his title, but his specific name is Okias. Right, but he's going to be an Okias the something. I just don't know what yet.
Ooh, okay.
Because as we decided, he needed to be 13th level.
Yep.
So he's certainly something.
Okias the Generous?
Probably not, but I'm gonna go find a random generator. Who knows? I've been wrong before.
I mean, if that does
persuade?
randomly generate, we should definitely get a discount.
We are a charitable organisation after all, remember.
Yeah.
Charity run
Thanks for
peacekeeping
putting all the
force.
names in the chat, by the way. I have no idea how to spell most of these.
Oh, you like them dropping in there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm
reading
taking
it.
notes, but I don't know how to spell anything.
I read everything backwards straight away. It's like force of habit now. I know all about you.
It's honestly my players that do that more than I do.
Cheers, Daniel.
So he is Okias the Ash Mage.
Ooh.
Did you say the ass mage?
I mean, if we did, Oliver said, yeah.
Man, I could work with that.
You want ass?
Ash Mage, maybe like smoking, I don't know. Maybe we'll get on. I don't know, like, I'll try him anyway.
Yeah, so you can... Oh, sorry.
I'm a charming guy, like, so I'm just gonna try him anyway.
Yeah. You find him pretty quickly. You do have to move one island over, so you're moving... two, actually. But that's a tune of, about
What's up, Snoogie?
2 hours, maybe 3. So you're now on this... This is the lowest you've been in the Selayan Isles.
Right, okay.
So we're now late evening, coming up to later in the evening?
Yeah. I would say it was around 4-ish, whereas now it's about 6 and change, nearing 7. So Okias has a 3-storied like pagoda sort of house with a lot of balconies. He too is on a corner lot, as they are frequently not popular. So a lot of humans and such have them.
This guy you said is a half elf.
Yeah, half elf, maybe quarter elf. He's definitely got a little elven, but I think he would feel himself a human.
Cool.
And he's probably got some, ridiculous sort of like Okias's, goods and wares, right? So you can like come in and buy, like the tinder twig shit and the tinctures and other such weird stuff.
Yep. So, how am I going to go about trying to persuade this guy to cast a spell for us that costs a fortune for 100 gold?
100 gold
Yeah,
and we'll do the work for him.
Yeah, and there's somebody at the counter, right? Just some pleasant faced individual.
Well, it's okay. So we're looking for a good in exchange for a service, I guess.
Another head. It's okay. Heard that one before. What are you looking to do?
Whatever needs done within reason.
Okay. What spell? You got somebody cursed? Somebody hurt? Somebody lost?
We are looking to send a message magically. I believe the spell would be called Sending.
Yep. You're right on that.
So we're looking for you to send a message to someone for us. We are, and I'm smiling, turning on the charm. We're looking to pay you by services, because we know that's going to cost a lot of gold. We don't have that kind of gold, but we can offer services. But we're looking to pay you after, because this is something that is an emergency. It's a matter of life or death, and it's a matter of innocent lives need saved. And that's why we need to send this message of urgency. So we need you to do it like right away, and then we're going to owe you, and we're going to pay you, basically.
Yeah, so you're talking to a shop hand right now, probably the head one though, and they narrow their eyes to say, I think I can get you in. You got an honest face, stranger. Do you have anything to sort of open up the conversation? I can't bring Okias down or you up.
He has the means to help us save some innocent lives.
And I'll say that, but if if you have anything nice to drink, anything nice to smoke, if you found an odd trinket or two.
I've got something nice to smoke. If the man's the Ash Mage, if that's the meaning of the Ash Mage, then yeah, I've got something for him. Don't worry about that.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, give me a little something. I'll bring it up to him. I'll tell him you want to speak about some matters of urgency and safety.
Nice.
Of innocent lives.
So I'll give him a little something out of my little pouch.
Yeah. Where's it from? What's it like?
Oh,
it's got a name?
Yeah, I make up some name. That's what I do. I make it up. It's bullshit.
Okay, so it's just normal ass shit. But...
Yeah, it's just Reggie, right? But I'll make up some like bullshit, like exotic name.
Yeah, I came straight from wherever the fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your fantasy world. You make up the fantasy name for the place.
I want you to make the fantasy up. That's your.
All right, it's called.
But it's not. If it's not really fancy, I don't care.
Well, no, you can name it after like a magic spell. It's called Acid Arrow. There you go. It's called Acid Arrow.
Yeah, really, it's just food coloring we put on it to make it bright green.
Yeah, Acid Arrow. Yeah, tell them it's some Acid Arrow. Good stuff.
Yeah, so about 10 minutes later, says, Caius didn't seem particularly impressed with your product, but he's willing to come talk to you if you wanna come back.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. We want to go back and talk to this guy.
Okay. Now, you've been in bars and all kinds of weird houses your whole life, right? So I imagine it's got to get pretty fucking weird to make you even think twice, yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen the insides of some rough places, like.
Because you go in there and like you're struck with like, it's less that there are rooms that are themed, and more like this is someone who's quickly running out of house space because he surrounds himself with the things he wants and needs in the moment, and then moves on to them, and either isn't willing to or has elected to not hire anyone to clean up after him, right? So you're walking through stages of his life, so where he was, obsessed with this sort of thing, and then he was doing research, and then he was making little, toy soldiers, and
So there's loads
right?
of hoarded stuff, loads and stuff.
Yeah, there's a room that's nothing but like bird cages and shit, right? And like the birds are still alive, but you can tell like no one works in this room. You know what I mean? Like they keep the lights on, but nobody's at home in a lot of these rooms.
Excuse me, chat.
Yeah. So
is there a soap room that we walked through?
I'll roll for it. You want to roll for it?
What do I roll?
Roll D6 if you and I match.
Soap making is a popular hobby.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Damn, not this time. So he hasn't got to his soap phase yet, but maybe by the time you're done. And then specifically to both, Winnie and Alicia, is this like really weird and crazy to you? Do you not care at all? Right? Like, there's some weird shit. This dude gets up to some strange hobbies. Have you been in a place like this before? Have you met a powerful wizard before?
Alicia hasn't, and she's unsure what's going on, but the relationship she has with Rx, she's just kind of rolling with it right now.
Okay.
And I think I would probably have come in contact with like wizards and stuff through the church every now and again, but not really like ever been in their home or anything. So I'm probably like a little like, oh, this guy's like a little bit of an oddball, but
yeah. So this is an external thing I want you guys to think about, because I'm going to ask you for the strangest thing each of your characters saw in these rooms as you were moving through it. You have total carte blanche to decide what it was. Oh. If you want, like, if you need some help, you need some prompting or something, you can ask me a couple questions. But I want to know the thing that sticks with your character is like, oh, I want that, or oh, I want to know the story behind that, right? Like, what's the thing that you're like, that was weird, cool, and now I'm going to talk about it all.
My character saw a room full of benches and chairs with straps and buckles that looked really, really weird and just curious, and I'm very curious about those.
Okay, sure. Yeah, he's got a phase for everything.
I think for me, I might have maybe seen like statues of Freya or like the Valkyries, and been kind of by that.
Only because I'm not super familiar with that. Are there like a known quantity to like, is this a Valkyrie with a specific name and a specific weapon, and this is a specific Valkyrie with a specific weapon, or are they all pretty much the same?
I think that they had their own kind of unique things.
Okay.
But I can look it up too. Yeah,
I'm just not familiar with it, right? Like, angels as a whole, right? There's like, the Seraphim and the Nephilim and everything, but then like, there's the Archangel this and the Archangel that, right? That like are known for having a different weapon or like a different personality. So I wasn't sure how the Valkyrie kind of fell into that. Because like, not to like spend too much time on a throwaway line, but I could see him getting really obsessed with like, you know what I mean? Learning all about each of them.
Right, right.
So. And then, sorry. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
A bunch of very, very intricate, well-designed sculptures of animals. And it's curious as to what they are, who did them, how they, like, why do they have these? But they look really real, just like amazing artwork.
Nice, very cool. Yeah, and when you get to, so you're up on his third story now, right? You came in at the ground floor, and when you get up there, you are immediately assaulted with like the acrid smell of like high potency cleaners and like like the burning sensation in your nostrils. He is working with some powerful chemicals, and you think even either acids or poisons. Like, this is a room you would not want to willingly stay in, and I imagine Maverick may even be unable to do so unless Alicia like specifically commands him, like, I need you here, right? Because like the sense is even stronger for him.
I'm okay with him backing up to wherever he needs to be, but he really does want to stay. But to where he needs to be. So maybe I'll park him in the hallway.
Yeah, it definitely is even more tolerable. Like, he is in a stone and like metal encased room, right, with like a bit of a vent, like a hood to try and draw some of it out. But like, this is, if we walked into this room, we would leave this room like something's wrong.
Yeah, I don't want his nose tainted, because if we need his nose, I don't want it burned.
Yeah. And to greet you, turning around, is a reasonably spry, kind of plain looking, mid 40-year-old, like quarter elf human, right? He's got just like a bit of a fair complexion, very little in the way of facial hair, just like the light, hint of like, mutton chop basically, but nothing chin or mustache. Ears seem to be, normal. Eyes, normal colored.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself. Say, it's nice to meet a fellow half-elf out here in this place full of elves. Smile at him. Shake his hand.
Yeah, I've mostly given up even saying that. They seem to find it more distasteful than being a human, as if we couldn't keep a foot in both worlds.
But they don't know. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Me and you, we understand each other. We're brothers. It's all good. It's all good. So it's a nice place you've got here. I like the atmosphere. It's a funky smell. I like it.
Yeah, he nods. He says, "Yeah, your stuff was rather funky too."
Good. I hope you enjoyed it. That's on the house. Just I'm happy to meet another half elf.
I was much more excited. I thought it was acid based at first. That's my current interest. I'm doing a lot with poisons and venoms and but yeah, I'll smoke it. That's fine.
We're actually just trying to help someone from getting hurt by something that they shouldn't be getting hurt by. Obviously a lot more about magic than me. A bit like ward spells where you move something blows up. Well, we need to warn someone about something, one of these. And we need someone that can cast a spell to magically tell someone this, because we can't get there in time. What do you call it? Sending. And you look like a man of great power, a man of great wisdom, a man of great ability. A man of great taste, of course, looking around his room, and I'm just flattering him, etc. And I was hoping maybe you could help us with this. But we don't have the means to pay you straight away. Because it's a matter of urgency, something you would have to do straight away. I think you're perhaps the only man that could help us.
It's interesting. Yeah, I hear that. I probably could. Yeah. Who am I sending to? I have to know them. A name, a picture. The more info, the better. Accuracy is very important. Even the best mage can lose a message.
I'll turn to Winnie and say, right, you can tell the man, this is my brother. You can trust this man with this information. It's going to go from us to him to the recipient of the message and nowhere else. Isn't that right, my brother? And I look at the man and give him a look, like, so he's on the same page,
As well, certainly I'm not going to send it to anyone that I don't mean to. But you must understand that security comes at a very high cost here in the Slayan Isles. I have earned myself a modicum of freedom. Thankfully, a spell like this will not break it. I am willing to do so, but I cannot promise that things will not be overheard. They have ways of detecting things that they should not, quite simply.
Right, well, RX, do you want to disguise me like the man that you saw, since I can't really describe him. But I'm probably the closest in stature.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe looks.
Yeah, I'm a master of disguise, so I can do what I need to do, like.
So you're trying to dress her up like who?
The man's name is Money Branch, I believe. Woodroll Money Branch.
Yeah.
So just to be clear,
she's trying to make it so the message looks like it's coming from the dwarf.
Your sending spell, he could send it specifically to Robrek if you wanted.
Oh. Oh yeah, okay, even better.
You don't have to if you want to send it to Money Branch, but the Money Branch's contact was like if you wanted to physically, call upon someone, right? Like if you wanted to send him a letter or arrange a meeting. The magic of sending is such that unless I'm not remembering the spell correctly, you should be able to just send it to any person.
Yeah, that's the point of it. Magically, we can send it straight to the closest person to that trap.
So do we want to send it to Irmum?
Who was the guard outside the room?
Irmum.
Your mom.
Your mom.
Yeah, your mom. Yeah, the safety officer. They send it directly to them because they would most likely be the next one in the room.
I think so.
All right, you want to disguise me like your mom?
I don't think putting an actual physical disguise on you is gonna cover.
I think it's funny. I think he wants to see it now.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna do it, but I don't think it's gonna work. It's gonna cover up the telepathic scrying of the spell.
Because it says he has to be familiar with someone whose name and appearance are known. And I don't have a picture of your mom.
Oh, right. So if we're going to send the message to him, we've got to make this guy, this half-elf guy, familiar with the person who sent it to us. So we're going to disguise you to look like him. So he looks like this. Send it to the guy that looks like this.
This is the guy. It looks just like your mom.
Yeah, okay.
So, I message to my mom? What?
So I dress up. I use my power of disguise, my proficiency in disguise, to make up Winnie so she looks like your mom. And then I'm like, it's this guy. You're sending the message to this guy, and I point to Winnie.
Humans for hundreds of years are going to look back on this episode in just sheer awe of the chicanery we have gotten into tonight. What the fuck was this convoluted plan?
Yeah, well, hey, this is the plan. This is what we've got.
Yeah, that's what we got.
We're drawing up a photo fit on an Etch-a-Sketch, basically.
Yeah.
Because the guy's not familiar. He needs to be familiar with the recipient of the spell. That's what it says in the spell description. So we're making him familiar with the recipient of the spell by disguising Winnie to look like him and going, this, he looks like this.
Yeah. Alright, so let me see the roll.
What a plan. Right, rolling. Boom.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so he laughs a little bit, right? He's like, but you're saying...
He looks just like this.
So he's got a beard, huh?
Yep. About this height.
Okay. Yep. Dwarf.
Yep.
And then he snickers a little bit. He's like, his name is your mom.
Your mom. And I've got little glasses, because I've got a little kit for making disguises. Obviously, if I have proficiency in disguise, I've got a little kit in my pack. So, I make up little glasses and stuff, because the guy had the little glasses on, and I make her look just like him.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought that was Money Branch that had the glasses.
Yeah, the glasses was
Money Branch.
No,
that was Money Branch that had the glasses. Forget the glasses. But anyway,
so okay. And he says, okay, well, that was fun. I really liked that. So, I want to do this. I do. There's a matter of payment.
Yes.
So,
there's also a matter of time, though. Can we discuss payment after?
I need to know that you're willing to do what I need.
Okay.
I won't make you do it beforehand.
Let's get it out of the way then. What do you need?
You ever heard of a place called the Golden Geese?
Yes.
Well, do you know how they got that name?
No.
Well, they've got golden geese.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you noticed, but I really like birds. I was kind of into birds for a while.
I saw that, yeah.
I need at least one. You get me more? That's fine. We can talk. You can then bring the negotiation to me about what you need if you get more. But I need you to take one of those geese. I need you to bring it here. It needs to be mine. I need the goose.
Okay, well, I need you to save some lives today, so that is a deal, okay?
Fantastic.
We can do that. Deal.
What's your message? To your mom?
Winnie?
Oh, man. That's 25 words, right?
25 words.
Yep.
25 words, and there is a slightly higher increased chance of the message not going through than normal. I'll tell you right before I roll.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Hello?
Oh!
And we need to be cryptic.
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
Just wanted.
Sorry. He's doing the spell.
Yeah, no, you're good. That you should not move. That person.
Long time no see. Just wanted you to know. Shouldn't move that person. Was that the thing?
Hope everything is good. Talk soon.
Everything is good. Talk soon. And he claps once. So it is a 15% chance that this spell fails. Normally it's 5. It is a little increased due to him not knowing the guy, although you significantly put you dressed up like it. That was a success. That was good. 100. Do you want low or high, or do you not care?
Goof, you choose. You choose low, high. You there, Goof?
Yeah, I missed it.
Yep, sorry.
Low or high?
So either a 1 to 15 is a fail, or an 86 and above?
Low.
Low. Okay, so 1 to 15, so 16 plus. You're good. So I don't know that by the rules he knows, but I'm just going to say he feels as though the spell connected, right? You have no reason to fear currently. So yeah, he repeats it in your words, looking like directly at your face, right? He's like, your mom just thought you should know. Parrots it back to you. And at the end of it, he nods. He says, okay, that was a really weird message, but don't move that guy. You got it.
It's not how I would have worded it, but okay.
He's a very old friend, and they were considering moving somebody from a house that's, he's been there for so long, but we don't want him to be moved. He deserves to stay there.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So what's your plan for stealing me a goose?
Oh, now you'll need to give me time to think about that. I'll need to scope the place out and investigate, obviously. But yeah, let me think on that. But I'll get you a goose.
Okay. I'm gonna need that goose in the next couple days.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
say 4 days.
Of course, yeah, 4 days. That's fine, of course. I'll work on that.
Okay. Good. Then we won't have any problems, brother.
Yes, brother, of course. Let me get you that golden goose. Give me a few days.
4 it is.
4 days it is.
This is all right. I'm gonna get back to work. I'll see you soon.
You keep up the good work.
Thank you, Archias. You did my voice just great, by the way.
Yeah, he laughs. He says, "Yeah, it kind of being a vocal mimic. It's like something I picked up."
Oh, so fancy. Well, we'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon.
Oh.